At Merrill West Credit Union, we're working towards a brighter financial future for both our members and our community, knowing that when you succeed, we all succeed. Let's get acquainted with our Premier Savings for new members, now paying over 20 times the national average. Another great reason to move your money to a credit union. Learn more at merrillwest.com/Premier Savings. Merrill West Credit Union, working for you. Today, tomorrow, together. Insured by NCUA.
Or Town Square Media.
Savor your traditions with delicious deals and festive flavors at Rayleigh's in Nob Hill. Create a holiday meal in half the time by pre-ordering one of our easy heat and eat feasts. Make hosting hassle-free with ready-to-eat party platters and trays from our deli. Save 30% on wine when you buy 6 or more 750 milliliter bottles. Clip your digital member deal online or in the app to bring home a grade A Rayleigh's frozen basted turkey for 47 cents a pound. Limit one while supplies last. Full plates, full hearts. Only at Rayleigh's in Nob Hill.
Websites. Fill out the Advertise Here form. Put the power of Town Square Media to work for your business.
It's time. You know what time it is? Time. Game for Tuscaloosa's longest running sports show.
The biggest goal of our team,
especially in the first half,
we at Bama, we're trying to be the best. Always is to win a national championship.
Something cool to look back on.
We don't want to waste a failure.
You're inside the game.
John Mechie on the ground.
Appreciate your interest in the game.
On your home for Alabama sports.
Alabama wins.
Tide 100.9 and streaming on the Tide 100.9 app. Powered by Tuscaloosa Toyota. And now, here's your award-winning host, Ryan Fowler.
How are you doing, Tuscaloosa? Big good afternoon to you. Welcome into the game. Does cold weather just get you in the football state of mind? Does it not? I mean, it is like you wake up and it's in the 30s and we're going to Oklahoma. Maybe, matter of fact, I believe it's going to be warmer out there that it's going to be here in Tuscaloosa. Man, we're going to have some fun. We're going to do the SEC Parlay Pick Contest presented by Brian Harden Construction, ASME certification, I-beam installation, fabrication. If you're building from the ground up, let's build something together. It's Brian Harden Construction. We're always powered by Tuscaloosa Toyota, TuscaloosaToyota.com, 3325 Skyline Boulevard, and online at TuscaloosaToyota.com. We're going to take through some picks. We'll run through those lines coming up here in just a couple of seconds. We're going to have some fun. Man, sit back, enjoy the next 4 hours. We'll turn on a little fireplace. I'll pour you a glass of half and half tea. That'll work too, Jace. That'll work too. We can get us a jacket. Matter of fact, I'm so now cold natured that used to be hot natured, but as you get older, I guess your blood thins out or something. But I've got my jacket and my vest today. So I'm ready to go, man. We're going to have some fun. And let's start it out. We're going to go through these lines. And it's one of those that Alabama could really get some help, right? If you're one of those, if you're in the crowd that wants Alabama to go to Atlanta and play in the SEC title game, then just about, well, Chase, you got Mississippi State. Just turn the headphones off for a minute. I don't want to hurt your feelings. We need the Missouri Tigers to hammer them dogs, man. I don't want to hurt your feelings.
It's okay. I've had my feelings hurt all season, so it's all right.
That's true. But we need the Missouri Tigers to go over and win, and that line's adjusted. But hey, if you're in the crowd that does not want to go to Atlanta, then you pull for the Mississippi State Dogs. So you got some folks that don't want to go to Atlanta. They'd rather host a home game in the college football playoffs. Let's run through these lines. We'll go Ole Miss and the Florida Gators getting together down in Gainesville. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'm sorry. I had a little misprint right here, but it's Ole Miss going against the Florida Gators, 5-5. Lane Kiffin's had his eye on that job for several years. He had a job high on this job, but Lane, we said no thanks. Ole Miss minus the 12.5, 55.5 is the game total. We'll play the over or the under. That is tomorrow morning, 11 a.m. But nobody's going to be watching because everybody's going to watch the Indiana Ohio State. So Ole Miss at the Florida Gators. You got UMass going to Georgia. Hey, that's a big opponent, man. What if UMass come down there and upset them? I mean, we're sitting here talking about the Dogs and how they celebrated that victory and the way Stetson. I almost called him Stetson Bennett. Almost called him Stetson Bennett. No, he looks nothing like Stetson Bennett. But UMass at Georgia. Georgia minus 42.5, 55.5, 55.5. UTEP at Tennessee. Tennessee minus the 40.5, 52.5 is the game total. You can play the over or you can play the under. Kentucky at Texas. 9-1. 5-1 in the SEC. Kentucky 4-6. 1-6 in the SEC. That's 2:30 game on ABC. That is where I believe the SEC Network. I never watched that show. I watch, if I'm going to watch it, I'm going to watch ESPN College Game Day. So I can't get into like the Diet Coke.
Yeah.
You know, do you watch it?
I do. I have like in the background if I cook
like
something.
the SEC Nation.
Yeah.
So you'd prefer that over ESPN College Game Day? No. I mean, when Coach Saban is on ESPN College Game Day, I don't ever. I mean, I didn't watch SEC Nation prior. I couldn't even. If you walked up and you stuck a gun in my head and you said, Ryan, you got to name the host that on SEC Nation, I couldn't tell you because I'd rather watch ESPN College Game Day. Pat McAfee and Kirk Herbstreit and the old man Lee Corso putting the headgear on, Reese Davis in Alabama. I mean, we got two Alabama guys together. You got Nick Saban and Reese Davis, and then Desmond Howard. It's always fun to hear those guys, to me, analyze football. All right, so here we go. Texas minus a 20, 46.5. Arkansas is going to be hosting La Tech. Arkansas minus 23.5, 48.5 is the game total. South Carolina, don't tell Corey Miller this, but they're playing Wofford and Wolford. They're zero. It's because it's an FCS. I can't find a line on that one. But hey, Missouri Tigers, Mississippi State. We've seen some line movement here. I told you that it was going to happen. The Missouri Tigers minus the 9. That has moved 1.5 points since yesterday. 57.5. Don't feel so confident because remember, if you go to Las Vegas and you see those beautiful buildings, they don't build those buildings losing money. So if the line moves, if the public goes one way, what do? You go the other. So Mizzou minus the 9, 57.5. Texas A&M and Auburn. This one's a little bit confusing to me. Texas A&M minus the 2.5, 46.5. Alabama, Oklahoma. Bama minus 13.5, 46.5 is the game total. Vanderbilt. That's all right. That's okay. You're going to work for us someday. LSU minus the 7.5, 53.5. LSU, did you guys have a good 24 hours? You guys good over there? Baton Rouge? You all right? Did you lose a big 5-star quarterback? You did, didn't you? Man, number one guy in the country. It must be LSU must be burning. Hey, mobile quarterbacks have been a weakness. Kind of keep that in your head. LSU minus 7.5, 53.5 is the game total there. And then we'll play one other line outside. I didn't see anything else that grabs me. What was it, BYU and Arizona State? That didn't do anything for me, even though it's a top 25 game. I only put one outside of the conference game, Indiana at Ohio State. Indiana at Ohio State. Ohio State minus the 11. That's a big line. All right, let's continue. Let's talk about it. 205-342-9904. And we'll start with Greg in Athens. Greg, good afternoon. You're in the game. I hope all is well, my friend.
Hey, Ryan. Thank you for taking my call. I hope you've had a good week.
Man, it's been a great week.
Yeah. It's starting to finally feel like fall up here in northern Alabama.
Yeah, you guys got snow on the ground up there?
Not yet.
Okay. Well,
normally, if we get it, it's after Christmas.
I'm just pulling your leg. I was just having some fun.
Well, last year we got snow like the middle of January. And the city schools, Athens city schools, were out a week, which never happens. So, but it was also like sub-zero temperatures that week. But anyways, what I expect to see Saturday from Alabama is the continuation of the play and effort we've seen in the last 3 games, and that, I'm looking more at a score of like Alabama 35-13.
Oh.
And, I don't know what the over and under is. I think you said it earlier, but that would be 48.
46.5 is where I've got it. So And we'll get into the parlay picks. But so why do you think that, Greg? What is kind of just...
Well, because here's why. I think that Alabama is going to stay dedicated to the run game. That even though from time to time Oklahoma may have on defense some they may get a negative play here and there, that Alabama has finally decided what works with Jalen Milroe, and they're going to run that system. And even though Oklahoma's had a pretty good defensive line, the one thing that they don't have is an offense. And even though they've got two different quarterbacks, their weapons are the majority of their weapons are out. And I just don't think even some of Alabama's best defenses back in Coach Saban's tenure, your defense can only withstand stress for so long. And if you score 35, 45 points in a game, they don't experience that stress very often. But if you're getting 3 and outs, but you're not scoring, eventually one of those defenses is going to crack. And I just think that Oklahoma may ride some emotion Saturday, being their senior day and all. But I just think that Alabama is starting to be more disciplined on the front in the line of scrimmage, and that dedication to the run, even if they don't get 250 yards rushing, is going to open up the passing attack, and you'll see Milroe hitting some guys on open plays that will kind of break this game open later.
You mentioned the rushing attack, and I want to go back to the Missouri game. You pointed that out, but not just for the backs getting confidence, but how much did that game, in my opinion, it changed the way that Nick Sheridan saw, getting these guys will really open up this offense, and getting those guys, because it was almost like that was the point where we started utilizing the backs, not just rushing the football, but they took that plan to LSU. They got them all the different screen passes and just got them involved in the offense. And that's another element. It's almost like they pour more of this offense out each and every week. And that's why this offense is going to be dangerous to defend. I mean, you better be able to defend it. I mean, Brent Venables has had 2 weeks. I don't know if that'll make a difference, but there's a lot of elements that you're going to have to cover. Oh, okay, you're going to cover this? Okay, well, we'll beat you here. Oh, you're going to cover us up tight? We're going to beat you over the top. So, and if you guard over the top, then we'll run it down your throat.
Yeah, it seemed to me, if you look back to the Tennessee game, that when Jalen Milroe tried to run, it wasn't designed QB runs. It was a reaction to the pressure he was facing, and it showed, in their performance. And you just look back 2 weeks ago, the opening drive against LSU on the road. LSU is a much louder stadium to play in than Norman, Oklahoma, and when he took off on that 39-yard scamper, he just looked comfortable, and I think he's hit his stride. And when Jalen Milroe is in the groove, he's almost unstoppable. And so I just think it bodes well. Every game is about paths to victory. Some days you have a goat path to victory, and other days you've got a highway interstate's path to victory. And I just think that the paths to victory for Alabama are much wider than the path is for Oklahoma. And barring, a total meltdown on Alabama's offensive side, that Alabama's just going to pull away at the end.
All right. With that being said, Greg, let's talk about a tiebreaker. Where do you want to go? We had Oklahoma total yards earlier this week. Where do you want to go?
I would say, if I was going to pick a tiebreaker, I would say Alabama passing yards.
Alabama passing yards. Okay. All right. Give me 3 picks, Greg.
I'm going to pick Florida.
Okay. Got it.
Vandy.
Well, our LSU friends have had some pretty big issues down there.
Yeah, and Oklahoma.
I'm really happy for them, to be honest with you.
I mean, not Oklahoma. I meant Ohio State. So.
Ohio State. All right. And then Bama passing yards, what number you want to go?
240.
240. I got it. Hey, Greg, appreciate you, man. Good to hear from you.
Yes, sir. I think that LSU is suffering a crisis of culture. Brian Kelly has lost his locker room. Everybody's yelling at everybody. I know they had a team players only meeting earlier in the week.
Oh, those are always effective.
Yeah, and here's the thing. They're not able to afford getting rid of him. So let's say you keep him for the next 3 or 4 years. There will be an inflection point in that time frame if this year is the future for LSU under him. If he finishes 9-3, 8-4 every year, it's going to have a more detrimental effect than simply being a pretty good team because it's affecting their psyche right now. And you can overcome physical problems, but it's much harder to overcome mental ones.
Yeah, LSU. I don't know where you go. I mean, I think when when you're fake as an individual, and I think Brian Kelly is. I mean, we've seen it with everything he's tried to do. He just doesn't look authentic. And I think players pick up on that.
Well, I think Brian Kelly is better suited coaching less talented people in a less talented league. And just because you're good at one area doesn't mean that you're going to automatically translate that at the next level. And the next time you have Matt Moscona on, ask him, is Baton Rouge burning?
Trust me, that right there, if I was Brian Kelly, I believe I'd call Matt over and say, Matt, you got to run laps until eternity because, he kind of poked the bear a little bit, right? I mean.
Because here's the thing. T-Bob Hebert he hates Alabama, but he's honest. Moscona is a sunshine pumper for LSU.
Well, and listen, Matt's a buddy of mine. Matt, well, I say buddy. I mean, we're friends. I mean, I don't like, we don't go to each other's house for Christmas. But yeah, he's a guy that he's wrote a check with that mouth that butt can't cash. It's just what it is. I mean, it's LSU's burning, and as much as they poke fun, because think about everything that they've done. They've talked about Alabama's burning. Alabama went in and stomped a mud hole in them. Then they've rubbed it in. Oh, Keelan Russell. We got Bryce Underwood. We got the number one quarterback in the country. We've got the number one recruit. He's here. He's committed. He's this. He's this. And then all of a sudden, now the narrative has changed about Vanderbilt, right? That's another one that they love to use.
It's a dumpster fire.
If I could get one more request, please. You've granted a few this year. Thank you. Vanderbilt, please go down and beat the Tigers. Please. Pretty.
Hey,
please.
One last thing, and I'll roll tide you out. There's a song that John Denver did back in the day called "I'm Sorry," and Brian Kelly should be sending that out to Bryce Underwood today.
Well, I still think when you look at Bryce Underwood, we might play that just for him coming back. Okay, all right. John Denver, I'm sorry. Hey, Greg, thank you, man. Roll Tide to you.
Roll Tide. Have a great weekend.
Yeah, you do as well. 205-342-9904. Paul and Lincoln, get ready. We're coming to you coming up in just a couple of minutes. It is a SEC Parlay Pick contest presented by Brian Harden Construction. Alabama could still be playing. Our friends from across the state, probably not so much. But you got to beat Texas A&M, then you got to come to Tuscaloosa and beat Alabama. And I don't know if your academics will get you in at 6-6. I doubt it. I doubt it. Highly doubt it. But who knows? Who knows? I doubt the fan base would be able to buy too many tickets either. But hey, it starts tomorrow. And we haven't really spent a lot of time talking about Texas A&M. That line's a little bit confusing to me. We'll go to Paul in Lincoln. Paul, good afternoon. You're in the game. I hope all is well.
Ryan, is Tuscaloosa ready, my friend?
We're ready, man. And Norman, Oklahoma is too.
Absolutely. Let's all embrace the suck. We've got to embrace the suck, and that suck is the Auburn Tigers, and that is SAUCK. Ryan, let me ask you a question. Who would you rather have standing on your sideline as the head coach of your football program? Would it be one Hugh Hefner, Hunter Freeze, or Mike Elko?
Let me debate that for about a nanosecond, which is the shortest measurement of time. I'll go Elko.
I think I would too. I'm not sure where this booger love is coming from. That you're right. That is a very confusing line in that ball game. A&M has a lot to play for. The Bugs have nothing to play for, unless you consider uptown Birmingham as something to play for. But I just, for the A&M Texas game to be as big as potentially, it's going to be big regardless, but for it to be as big as we think it's going to be, I believe A&M's sole focus is on Lee County this Saturday night. So,
well, okay, but let's just take it just for a couple of minutes. I know you and I love to analyze and pick on the Auburn Tigers, and we'll start Auburn Hate Week officially tomorrow evening about 9:30, even though we hate them 365. But, I mean, we'll ramp it up a little bit for next week, and we will be here every day except Thursday. We'll take Thanksgiving off, but we'll work on Wednesday and Friday. But going to the conversation, when you look at the Auburn Tigers, they're using this rebuttal that it takes a little bit longer to build. We've got to be able to sustain this program. Well, that's not the case anymore. That's not, I mean, go ask Vanderbilt what they were able to do in the offseason. Go ask Texas A&M what they were able to do in the offseason. The portal, it doesn't take that long. There's something wrong on the Lee County side of things. And it kind of reminds me in a different way, even though Brian Kelly, I'm not comparing him to Hugh Hefner. It's not what I'm doing, okay? But there's something about people read authenticity. And there's nothing authentic about Hugh Hefner. And there's nothing authentic about Brian Kelly. He's fake. He's fake.
Oh, absolutely. If my memory is correct, and I could be wrong because I'm getting up there in age, Ryan, but if my memory is correct, the last night, well, that is where I am wrong, because I was going to say the last night game that Auburn played A&M in Lee County was 2012 when Johnny Manziel went in there and beat them 63-14. But they did. Who was the interim coach down there? The towel waver, Cadillac, Caddyshack did beat Jimbo down there in Boogville. I think in 20, it was 21 or 22. But either way, Ryan, who's had? Is there a program in America that has had the worst 4-week run than the LSU Bengal Tigers? It has been horrific,
and I hope it continues this weekend. It has been horrific
for poor little old Matty Moscone and poor old T-Bob Hebert. I mean, it's not only do you lose at A&M, they changed quarterbacks. And A&M proceeded to score on the next 5 consecutive drives offensively, and they run away with it. They get a week off. Bama goes to Red Stick and absolutely takes no prisoners. You know, Bama burnt everything down there but the women and children. They left them upright. And then you go to Gainesville in a must-win situation, and Sun Belt Billy. How many times have you heard little bitty Matty Moscone call Billy Napier
just nonstop?
Sun Belt Billy.
Sun Belt Billy.
Sun Belt Billy beats the living hell out of poor old Brian Kelly in the swamp. Oh my gosh, it's great. It's great. And I mean, what I feel sorry. How is little Matty Moscone and T-Bone, how are they coping? What is their coping method right now? Because you lose now on top of that, you lose your highly rated quarterback commitment to the Michigan Wolverines, who are absolutely they're more garbage right now than LSU is, but yet they flip your stud quarterback commitment. Unbelievable. And bless their heart. And mercy's sake.
Yeah, this is just probably me thinking out loud, and it probably has absolutely nothing to do with it. But if you're Bryce Underwood and you're watching Alabama hammer LSU, you're looking at it going, I don't know if I want to be down here in Baton Rouge anymore. Not with this team. Not having to go through what's in Tuscaloosa, what's building. Because I kept saying this, you better get Alabama early. You better get them early. And some teams took advantage of that, right? Bryce Underwood's like, nah, that's all right. And listen, I get all the money. And like I said, that's a very biased response from me. But, you know, if you're sitting there and you're Bryce Underwood and you're sitting there looking at LSU defense, you want that backing you up on Saturday afternoon?
Exactly.
You want that keeping your close, or do you want to have to play with pressure all the time? And I know quarterbacks are ego. I get it. But, Paul, I will tell you that you were super close. You hit 3 in a row. We had several people who hit 3 in a row. You were a little large on your...
Yeah, it was a tiebreaker. Yeah,
tiebreaker.
Yeah.
And
it happens.
Well, and the guy that I will tell you, I'm not going to say until he calls in, but the guy, he hit one a couple of weeks ago. He's hot as a firecracker. He only missed it by like 12 yards. So, yeah.
Awesome.
So he's
awesome. Paul, whoever it is, Ryan, congratulations to whoever it was.
Yeah, and I was hoping that I know yesterday you had a big day, and I was hoping that, you know, at some point you were going to be able to call in and I mean, it kind of chokes me up a little bit here. Hold on, I'm trying to get it out of my. I know you were at a celebration, but our president had a birthday, and I was hoping that maybe you could wish him happy birthday.
I sure will.
Thank you.
Who says I haven't already done it?
Oh, well, I know that's why you were not here yesterday. Is my understanding.
Exactly.
Yeah.
President Donald John Trump.
No,
man.
No, wrong one. His birthday's a little later, but Joseph Biden. What was his birthday? Not
Oatmeal Joe.
Oatmeal Joe.
Oatmeal.
I mean,
Joe.
he didn't know it was his birthday, but yeah, it was his birthday.
No, I thought he was already dead.
Well, his stand-in.
He's
He's
not.
Yeah.
Well, there's some things I can't, I won't go to, Ryan, and that's one of them.
Okay, I'm sorry, my bad. Yeah,
I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. I can't do it.
We're too close to Christmas for you to be misbehaving.
We are.
Okay,
we are.
All right.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, here we go. I mean, has it not been a good? Has it? I mean, the only thing that would make this year go for us, I mean, we've had a good year, right? We've had a really, really good year.
Yes.
If we can just watch our team hoist up a trophy in Atlanta times 2. I mean, I'm going to be greedy. I want to go to Atlanta and hoist up the trophy times 2. One being an SEC title and the other being a national title. And I might even take a photo of it with the trophy and send it to my buddy Matt Moscone.
Little Matty. Yeah, I know that would cheer him up. That would cheer him and that clown.
Say how you like. Send it to him and say, Bama burning? ?
Yeah. Bama's burning. Oh me. All right, Ryan. Let's get to these picks.
Okay.
All right. Give me Alabama.
He believes in the Crimson Tide at that 13.5 number.
I hope I'm not jinxing anything, but I've got to take Texas A&M. Give me A&M.
It looks like free money from here, but there is no such thing in Vegas. 8-2 against a 4-6, and you're laying 2.5 points. But remember, that is a really nasty place to play, and that field is such an old-timey crowned field. Players have to run uphill a little bit there. Texas A&M, pick number 3.
Give me Ohio State.
He believes in the Buckeyes. So do I. Bama passing yards.
227 yards.
227. Paul, I hope you have a terrific weekend, man. Thank you again for being a part of our show.
Roll Tide and roll MAGA.
Thank you. Paul and Lincoln, I do remind you about the Wharf. If you're looking for a new pair of boots, Justin, Tawny Lima, Red Wing, Georgia, Double H, Timberline, Laredo, and many more. Cold weather has arrived here in West Alabama. If you're looking for a chance to go over and get a new pair of boots, maybe the insulated boots, those are great options. It is the Wharf. How about a jacket? How about any of those camo options? We've got a deer hunting contest at Tide 100.9, camo options, buck season, gun season. Well, deer season's been in for a few weeks now with you guys throwing sticks, but all of us that, enjoy the cold weather and a gun in our hand, that starts tomorrow officially, right? So if you're looking for camo options, it is the Wharf. If you're looking for a new pair of jeans, you can find those. Carhartt clothing, Rocky clothing, Under Armour clothing. Think about those guys as we celebrate upcoming Thanksgiving. Keep the dollar here in the local economy. Locally owned and operated, the Work in Western headquarters since 1976. You will find it at the Wharf, McFarland Boulevard. You go by El Gran Patron on the right-hand side of the road as you travel westbound. If you go to the blue plate, you've went too far. So on the right-hand side of the road, it is the Wharf, the Work in Western wear for the entire family. We're going to come back. Let's do a Blue Spring Living Water injury report real quick. We'll go through these lines. This was just what was released yesterday, late. You've got 3 Alabama guys, and it's all 3 guys that we know out. There's no probables. There's no questionables. Keon Sapp, Cole Adams, Quindarius Robinson, Q Robinson, those 3 guys are out. Oklahoma has got a ton of guys, and they got a bunch of guys that are out, but then you also have a lot of guys that are questionable as well. Looks like a lot of injuries. I mean, I don't even know if I want to run through this. Jaden Gibson, Nick Anderson, Andrew Anthony, Dion Burks, Gentry Williams, Kendall Doby, Hatchett, Jarian Hatchett, he's out. Jacob Sexton, offensive lineman, he's out. Jake Taylor, offensive lineman, he's out. Joshua Bates, he's out. Joshua Bates is out. Javante Barnes is questionable. And then the wide receiver, Fu, headed to Norman, Oklahoma. And I believe they're staying at the Embassy Suites there out in Norman, Oklahoma. It's a gigantic place. And for all those going out there, there's a great burger place right across the street from the Embassy. There's some good restaurants out there, some pretty decent place. I think I've talked about this several times this week. Have a chance because of my wife's employment. We go out there to Norman a few times a year. Not a lot of things to do out there, but beautiful stadium, beautiful venue. There are some activities. I'm being an old crudge, I guess. But all right, let's get me out of that. But enjoy the trip out to Norman, Oklahoma. Let's continue with more phone calls, and we go to Bubba in Northport. Bubba, good afternoon. You're in the game.
Roll Tide.
Bubba, you and I are still going to Norman, right? I'm picking you up at 6 a.m. in the morning. Is that right?
If I'd go anywhere at 6 a.m. tomorrow, I'm going to Pickens County. So
okay.
I can't go hunting anywhere. My truck's in the shop.
Uh-oh. You know?
But anyway.
If you get you one of them Toyotas, you ain't got to worry about the shop.
Yeah, I knew you was going to say that.
Yeah. What do you drive? What do you drive, Bubba?
A GMC Sierra 1500.
I ain't taking shots. I'm just telling you.
Well, I have almost 300,000 miles on it. So.
Okay. You're the ones feeling guilty, not me.
Okay. So,
but 300,000, that's good. That's good.
Yeah. What about tomorrow's game? What's your feeling? What's your gut telling you? Blowout?
If Alabama can go to LSU and play the way that we did, I think we go to Norman, Oklahoma. Now, Brent Venables having 2 weeks, a little scary, right? Last time I think we played a team that had 2 weeks. Well, I mean, LSU had 2 weeks, but so did we. But Alabama's been in a little bit of a rhythm. And the Mercer game, yeah, it's not an off week, but something tells me they spent a little time probably, preparing for Oklahoma, even though they didn't say that they were preparing for Oklahoma. A lot of times coaches will do that, right? I mean, you work on who you are,
right?
But you spend time. You just don't walk out there and say, "Hey, guys." But this Alabama team has had a different attitude. It's a shift in attitude. Everything you hear inside the building has been very positive. So I know I talked with someone late last night that had some pretty nice things to say about this football team and just the overall feeling in the building. I feel good about this team when we went to Vanderbilt too.
Well, I did too. I didn't think that was going to happen, but it did, and I thought we've grown up a lot since the Vandy game and Tennessee game. Big time.
I do too.
Growing up.
I do as well.
But I'm gonna go and give you my picks. I'm gonna go Alabama.
Okay, you want to go Alabama minus the 13.5? Got it, Bubba. Pick number 2.
I want to go the over on Alabama.
Okay, over 46. So we're going over 46.5. All right.
And Ohio State.
Ohio State. How about Bama passing yards? Where you want to go?
I'm going to go 257.
257. I got it, man. Thank you so much, Bubba. Hope you have a great weekend, man.
Roll Tide.
Hey, right back to you. Thank you, Bubba. We appreciate that. Let's go 205-342-9904. We'll go to Pat. Pat, good afternoon. You're in the game. I hope all is well, man.
It is, Ryan. But getting in to talk to you on a Friday afternoon is an absolute blessing. It's very difficult.
Well, we call it hitting the lottery. Mega Millions is up to a large, chunk of change. But hey, we're here.
And anyway, hey, I'm thinking that Florida is going to cover the point spread, but it's going to lose to Ole Miss. Do you feel good about that?
Say it one more time, Pat.
I said Florida. I feel like Florida is going to cover the point spread, but lose the game to Ole Miss.
I don't.
It's 12.
I don't.
Okay, you don't?
Well, and listen, there's a couple different things you got to kind of calculate. And I go to Ole Miss. They've still got something they're playing for. Okay. And they're playing to impress this committee. That is something else that you got to kind of calculate with Alabama, right? It's still a beauty contest because let's say that Mississippi State beats the Missouri Tigers. Let's say that Arkansas slips up and able to beat the Missouri Tigers. Let's say they finish 0-2, or the quarterback. I mean, we've already seen that quarterback. Brady Cook's not able to go, but he's probable. He's probable for tomorrow.
Yeah,
but it's a beauty contest. You need to get what if it's at the end of the day you're comparing Alabama's trip to Oklahoma and Tennessee's trip to Oklahoma?
Style points.
And
Ole Miss only beat Oklahoma by 12. So that okay. So you talked me into it. I'm going Ole Miss, Alabama, and Alabama over.
Okay. And going back, Lane Kiffin's always had his eye on that job. Pat, turn the radio down just a hair, if you can.
Gotcha.
If you can.
I turned it off.
You're fine because we're running a little bit of a delay. We have to run a delay, and our delay is brought to you by Bama Nick.
Right, gotcha. And Bama Nick and the PBRs.
Yeah, our delay is brought to you by Bama Nick and the PBRs.
I do not understand why you do not get a kickback from. I don't think they drink those in Tuscaloosa. I really don't think that's strictly only a redneck beer.
You see, I don't know anything about
I don't know anything about beer either.
No. So I'm not able to give you, but I'm able to tell you that I think we're a higher class of living in Tuscaloosa.
Yeah, I've never seen, especially in Demarcus, Georgia, and definitely.
So are you saying that Bama Nick is a redneck?
He knows that to be a fact.
Okay.
I mean, he don't deny that. I mean, he's a good redneck, though. He's our redneck, I guess you want to say.
Pat, I don't know if you want to poke that bear, do you? Do you want to poke that bear?
Oh, I'm poking him just real good there. But he tells me I ain't bringing it on my call, so I figured I'd step it up a little bit.
Bring it to the next level. Bring it to the next level. All right,
yeah,
Pat, you did not give me the the passing yards for the University of Alabama.
Passing yards for the University of Alabama. I had nobody going up this high. I'm going 321.
321. I got it. Pat, you got big plans. You sound better than you did yesterday, man. You sound like you.
Sir. Oh yeah, I'm going down to work on my boat in Demopolis a little bit, and then I'm going to watch the game
Lord,
with
man,
my
you
sons.
got more boats than
Yeah.
United States Navy.
Yeah, I have a pretty good sized Navy, that I sure do. All right, hey, y'all have a blessed afternoon. Okay.
Thank you, Pat. We appreciate that. We're doing an SEC Parlay Pick Contest presented by Brian Harden Construction. Let's go right back to the telephones, and we go to JR, Coker, Alabama. JR, good afternoon. You're in the game.
Good afternoon, Ryan. You ready to roll?
Man, I'm having a great day. Oh, yeah. I mean, cold weather has just put me in a football state of mind, which I'm always in, but kind of amped me up a little bit.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I mean, I rolled down my windows rolled up my windows, and I got it wide open over here. I don't have no heat on, nothing. I'm ready for the cold.
Okay. It was just, it's just something. It's a little football.
I just had the cats pile on.
Okay.
I knew that would get you tongue tied.
Well,
but anyway,
I got to feel bad. I got to feel bad because your cats. I always pick on your cats.
I'm depending on them to keep me warm right now.
Well, I mean, you got 13 of them. I mean, you can position them at strategically throughout the body, I guess.
Well, mainly on my feet. That's where I have neuropathy real bad. So that's where I feel the cold the worst.
Okay. So
I'll keep them away from my head. I don't like a cat up by my head. I wake up every now and then, one's up there. I'll get it away. I push it. Usually they're not. I don't let them in my bedroom at all. But every now and then they slip out the sneak attack.
Okay. Well,
but I got a few things.
Talk to me.
Talk to you. We spoke about Alabama and the SEC championship game and whether or not we're going to get there or how people feel about it. I'm all for going for it. I don't care who Alabama puts in front of them right now. I mean, the more the better, the better the better. The better the team is that we play, the better we look at the end when we host that championship trophy. Isn't that right?
I like that. I like your way of thinking.
Because, I mean, right now, I really feel confident about Alabama. They're playing their best game at the right time of the year.
And that's what you want to do. I mean, if you're a coach, that's what you want to do. You keep building and building and building and building and building.
Exactly. And so I don't fear anyone. I think anyone we stick in front of us right now, we're playing the best football of any team in the country. And I don't have a doubt in our mind, even our mind, both of ours, that, we're going to take it down. And I love it.
I look at the Dallas Cowboys.
Oh Lord, don't look at them.
Oh, I thought you were saying any team in the country.
Okay. Well, all right. Go ahead then.
No, I mean I'm just pulling your leg. Listen, I'm not dumb enough to think that college teams can compete with the NFL, but I don't know. The Cowboys, the way they're playing, they might. Cooper Rush,
right.
Yeah, he might not have a chance against Alabama's defense. All right, you're getting me to throw out old rat poison again. Here we go. I mean, I'm throwing it out with buckets.
Well, here we go. Well, I think look at Oklahoma right now. I mean, they're going to be coming out there playing on peg legs with crutches. How we that's not really a competition. I mean, I feel bad for Oklahoma really right now. I mean, we're going to open a can of
JR, I don't know if I've ever heard you this confident. I'm a little concerned.
Oh, don't be. I mean, like I said, whatever you lay out in front of us, that's the way it is. And I don't have a doubt in my mind that we're gonna win out the rest of the season. And you know what that means?
What does that mean?
We'll be hosting the Natty. Because if we win every game from here on out, that means we win the national championship game. Don't you see that?
Okay. Yeah, I mean, if we win out,
we'll be the Natty. We'll be the national championship.
JR, give me some picks, man. The more you talk, the more.
You just got to live with it, man. Live with it.
I mean, Nick Saban is over there going,
rat poison.
Shut him up.
No. Don't worry yourself. But no worries. That's the way the Australian people go. Aussies say.
How do they do?
No worries.
No worries.
No worries. No worries. That's the Aussies.
JR, are you? Are you?
No. Yes. No.
You hitting the bottle?
Oh, did I say that? Maybe my next door neighbor made a few little batch recently. I mean, it's
I told y'all.
It's a little shine. About
I could smell it.
Midnight, I'll be kicking the moon. Shine.
I knew it.
What?
I'm telling you, I worked at the trauma center here in Tuscaloosa, man. I can. The more you talk,
you're wrong. You know what? I just love having fun with you, man. You're the same way in poker. I can bluff people to the moon. I'm serious. I can play it out any way you want.
All right.
I should have been. I missed my mark. I should have been in Hollywood, except for they're too liberal. I wouldn't be that way. Anyway, my picks are A&M, Florida, Alabama.
Hold on. A&M,
Florida, Alabama.
And passing yards for your Alabama Crimson Tide. Jalen Milroe connecting down the field. Talk to me.
200. Oh, and by the way, I'm not going to listen to you're putting down Florida. I mean, you're like saying that Ole Miss had a lot to show for, but they're going down to the swamp, and I think they'll choke down in the swamp. Have some moonshine there, buddy.
All right, man. Thanks.
All right, take care.
JR.
Roll Tide.
They are JR. He's. I'm glad he called us at 3:00 because he would be toe up at about 5:30. All right, let's continue. We'll take more phone calls. Blue Spring Living Water, that injury report that we gave you. Nobody on Alabama's probable. Nobody's questionable. They've probably got some bumps and bruises, but nobody on a game-time decision, questionable, doubtful, probable. There are three guys that are out. They're season-ending injuries with Keon Sabb, Cole Adams, and Q Robinson. These are guys that we all knew about. Blue Spring Living Water, Numa, which is a great oxygenated water that you can find. Blue Spring Living Water, you can find it at Publix, Piggly Wiggly. You can find it down in downtown Northport at Mark's Mark. Go see our friends, Blue Spring Living Water. You can also have your water delivered to you via Waterway of Birmingham. Just go to bluespringlivingwater.com, bluespringlivingwater.com. You can also find them on Facebook. You know, as we approach the new year, many times you've got a New Year resolution. Don't start then, start now. You don't have to call it a New Year resolution. You can even claim that you started in 2024. But drinking more water, we certainly drink more water because of Blue Spring Living Water. You can get it Publix, Piggly Wiggly, and many others. Hey, let's do a little location thing. We'll do. I never knew. All right, we welcome you right back into the game. We're always powered by Tuscaloosa Toyota, TuscaloosaToyota.com. How about a 2025 Camry? You can find those as low as 3.99 APR. If you're thinking about a Tundra, we've got a $1,000 Christmas holiday bonus cash attached to that, a two-wheel drive or a four-wheel drive, and as low as 2.99 APR. We're offering a similar deal on the 2025 Tundra with a $1,000 Christmas holidays bonus cash. If you're thinking about a new Toyota, the Toyota-thon is on right now at Tuscaloosa Toyota. We're doing a Brian Harden Construction SEC Parlay Pick Day. Let me go through these spreads. Well, I'll go them several more times, but here's we enter the 3 o'clock hour. Ole Miss taking on the Florida Gators. Ole Miss minus 12.5, 55.5. That's an 11 a.m. game on ABC. That triple header is going to be pretty good for ABC. Alabama's the evening cap on ABC. UMass at Georgia. Georgia minus the 42, 55.5. UTEP at Tennessee. University of Tennessee, 40.5, 52.5 is the game total. Kentucky at Texas. Texas minus the 20, 46.5 is the game total. La Tech at Arkansas. Arkansas minus the 23.5, 48.5 is the game total. South Carolina is off the board. We could not find a line there. The Missouri Tigers minus the 9, 57.5 against Mississippi State. That's in Stark Vegas. Chances are we might have a couple of Missouri folks driving through. Mizzou minus the 9. We need those guys to win either this week or next week. And Alabama keeps winning, and they could be in Atlanta. Texas A&M at Auburn. Texas A&M minus the 2.5, 46.5 is the game total. The University of Alabama, the king of college football. The epicenter is here in T-Town. It's Alabama minus the 13.5. 46.5 is the game total. Vanderbilt at LSU. LSU minus the 7.5, 53.5. IU taking on Ohio State. Ohio State minus the 11. I want to thank you for participating in the Seize the Deal. We sold out this morning. Texas Roadhouse was our deal, so we'll be talking about a new one coming up next Friday. We'll talk more about that next week, but $12.50. Some of you guys got some great deals. And just pay attention next week. We'll start that at 8 a.m. next Friday. We'll do another Seize the Deal with another restaurant opportunity. And like I said, we'll announce that coming up next week. And your chance to save some money. And we know you're all about saving money. Also, I want to do a little something here. Jackson, we haven't done this in a few weeks. I think it was probably LSU the last time we did this. A lot of people listen to us via the app. We enjoy, and it's rewarding, right? When you look up at the call board and you see, man, we got this guy listening from here, this guy listening from here, this lady listening from here. Go to the app message, go to the app messages, and drop us a message. Give us a Roll Tide. You can throw in a score if you want to tell us Alabama and Oklahoma, but just do a little. I guess we can call this a little Bama roll call. Tell us where you're listening to us from. You can put your city there. Just tell us, give us a Roll Tide, or tell us, whatever. Alabama's going to beat Oklahoma. We love to be able to see those. Send us an app message. The app message is very simple. Go to Tide 109, which is a free app. You can listen to Game Day all day tomorrow, and that's presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors. Game Day all day starting at 1:30 tomorrow. Academy Sports and Outdoor, the new location up on Highway 280. But we'll be doing that tomorrow. But go to the app, 3 drop-down menu, the little drop-down, and it says send us a message. You can do that. We appreciate that. Many of you guys communicate. We say thank you. Let's have some fun right here on the game on a Brian Harden Construction SEC Parlay Pick Day. Robert, Mobile. Robert, good afternoon. You're in the game. I hope all is well, my friend.
Hey, man.
How are you, Robert?
You guys actually are you going to go to Oklahoma, Norman? Or are you just telling us how long a drive it is?
No, I'm not driving. But I have been offered a ride. But
okay.
But it's not in a vehicle. So we'll see. I'm still in the Southern Baptist way. We always say, like, I'm praying about it. So you'd ask somebody to teach Sunday school, and they'd say, well, I'm gonna pray about it. That's where I'm at. So I might jump on that thing and ride on out there. Never know. But
I think if Oklahoma you thought they were a real threat, you might actually make the trip, I suppose. But like you all said, we thought the same thing about Vanderbilt. Although I think on a neutral side, I would actually pick Vanderbilt to beat this Oklahoma team this year. I just can't see us, doing like we did at LSU and them laying an egg in Oklahoma when this team is just, you look at their stats, it's just, it'd be disappointing again if this isn't over in the fourth quarter. We're where I'd be disappointed if our second string isn't in the game before the fourth quarter ends. If that'd be highly disappointing if that's not the case. So yeah, I hate to get overconfident, but it's just hard not to be with this team. And it's really amazing that we're picking scores and we don't think Oklahoma is going to get 20 points. If you think, let that sink in. When the last time we would have ever thought Oklahoma was going to get 20 points in Norman against anybody?
Yeah, well, and I think I saw this. I'm trying to think. CBS Sports put this out earlier today. The last time that Oklahoma was an underdog at Memorial Stadium, this is according to CBSSports.com, a double-digit underdog at home was 1997.
Guess who? Who's the team they're playing against?
That was Texas A&M.
Wow.
And CBS Sports had that. And I appreciate Jim Donaway. Jim Donaway put that out there. Jim Donaway got that, but it was courtesy of CBS Sports. So, hey, I'll take it. Either way. But I will say that I like to watch line movements because they don't build those buildings losing money. And I was looking at it and looking at the different lines and the spreads. This Alabama line has not moved. So I kind of like that, to be honest with you.
Well, if there's one thing that might, even things out, that game should be pretty cold. It's probably colder than the current Alabama players has ever played in. That might, I guess that could throw a wrinkle in it. I imagine it could be, in the low 40s to probably in the 30s by the time that game, that game's in the fourth quarter. So maybe that can throw a monkey wrench into the weather.
Heck, I thought it was warmer over there than it was here.
Oh no, Oklahoma tends to get quite cooler.
No, but I mean, I'm not talking. I know Oklahoma does. It does get a lot cooler coming off those Rockies, right?
For the game?
But tomorrow it's actually going to be warmer there than it is here. I mean, check this out.
Okay.
I mean, how crazy is this? Because we've talked a lot about Norman being cold, and I agree with you, Robert. I mean, it is cold. I mean, the wind coming off those Rockies and it'll blow it across there. It can be a little cold. But when you look at the 60s tomorrow at game kick. So it'll be in the lower 60s when we kick. And let's just give it 3 hours. It'll be in the upper 50s. Like it'll be 58, 59.
Okay. So they got no help there either.
But let me kind of, I'm glad you pointed out this weather. We have 0% chance of rain, which is good. But now we do have a south to southeast wind. It's between 15 and 17 miles per hour throughout the game.
Well, that might, slow down the passing game, I suppose.
Yeah, it could. So, but I mean, I want to go back to Vegas here for just a couple of minutes because you and I like to, we like to follow these spreads a little bit just to kind of see what's happening. I mean, it's literally 13.5 across the board. I mean, I see 114. DraftKings has got it at 114, but I'm looking at 15 different sports books, and all of them have it at 13.5 except one. I take that back. MGM has it at 14 as well. Other than that, everything's 14.5. Excuse me, 13.5.
Yeah, you look at them playing and you see where Alabama's playing lately. I fully expect us to beat it. Like you said, if you don't have our subs in there in the fourth, that would be kind of disappointing. They're just nowhere they're better than LSU, and look what we did to LSU. So it's, of course, that's why you play the game. You play the game for a reason because you never know how it's going to turn out until the game's over, I suppose. So, but yeah, I'm looking to be well relaxed in this game. Maybe I shouldn't be. Like I said, maybe the ultimate rat boys. I know Nick Saban hates us talking like this, but it's just really tough not to. And it's really surprising. We're thinking, this game in Norman, that could be, the ultimate trap game, or that could knock us out of the playoff game. And now it's looking like, not really. And so I look for us to win out, and I look for us to be in the SEC championship game. And because it can seed us in the top four and for the college football playoff, it's a worthwhile game to play. But, there's going to come some years that Do you really want to make this SEC championship game? The way the college football is structured right now, not so sure about that. But we'll see. Hey, my picks are, of course, Alabama, and I also like Texas A&M and LSU.
Okay, so you think LSU is going to get a little bit of a bounce back? They've not been able to stop the mobile quarterback. I mean, we're talking like 3 games in a row.
Yeah, but man, they're at home. I mean, goodness gracious, Brian, if he don't win this game, oh my goodness, they'll be ready to kick him out, run him out of town on a rail. Well, so I think that their backs against the wall.
But I mean, and you look at LSU, 6-4 right now, 3-3 in the SEC.
Yeah, but you got Vanderbilt at home. You have to win that game, and you have to win that game pretty decent.
You know, let's take a positive approach with LSU, which we rarely do. Think about this from a standpoint. With wanting something and, you know, getting it's 2 different things. I mean, I want a Lamborghini and it's never showed up in the driveway. So even though I probably, I mean, I wouldn't want a Lamborghini, but it's fun to say.
We just don't want it. We just don't want a Jaguar. That's what we don't.
Yeah. All right. But Robert, think about it like this: is when you look at LSU and Brian Kelly, he needs a win in that fan base.
Yeah.
I mean, he just lost the #1 recruit. He lost to Florida on the road. He lost to Alabama 2 weeks or a week prior. So 2 weeks, he's on a little bit of a slide. The fan base needs something to feel good about. So you need to hammer Vanderbilt. You need a win down in Baton Rouge.
Yeah, and we're not. I mean, your players should easily match up well against Vanderbilt. So, unfortunately, it'll be another loss for us that Vanderbilt's not going to help us out. But I mean, it's just how it's got to be. So yeah, I'll look for LSU to win that one. I think they have to.
All right, give me
that's pretty much it.
All right, give me the passing yards for the University of Alabama in that windy conditions that you pointed out.
Oh, wow. This team he can run, but the defense is pretty good. So I guess we might have to throw the ball a bit more. I'm going to go 285.
Bama, Texas A&M, LSU, 285. Robert, I appreciate you, man. Roll Tide.
All right, man.
Thank you, Robert Mobile, helping us out. We'll go to Bama Nick on the other side. We got Brent Beard. We got Lee Sterling. We're talking Alabama Crimson Tide football. And those app messages, they're fun. They're fun to look at. We were just talking about the Rockies a couple of minutes ago. We had one of our listeners out in Colorado, I always say it like my grandmother, just to aggravate, always remind me there. Roll Tide from, what is it, Western Slopes? Is that where it is? Western Slopes, Colorado. Hello to you guys out there. Roll Tide. I got some friends of mine live out in Colorado. Roll Tide from Magnolia, Texas. Thank you. Appreciate that. And we'll continue reading those as I try to catch up. Roll Tide from Montgomery. #1 caller. Tommy Thunder is the #1 caller. Oh, he is. Sorry, Barner Nick. J-Rob, Montgomery. Roll Tide from Montgomery. Roll Tide from Carbondale, Colorado. You guys do a great job. Thank you, Willie. Appreciate that. Little Maddie Moscani might have to check the same mental health facility that Rob Rainier did in the Trump derangement syndrome. Barner Hader from Dothan. Okay. Roll Tide to you, man. Thank you. Ryan doesn't watch SEC Nation because of Feinbaum. LOL. I used to prefer SEC Nation over Game Day. College Game Day has gotten so stale until they brought in McAfee and Saban. Now I always watch Game Day. No, I mean, I do. I mean, it's like if I'm going to waste my 2 hours watching a preview show and 90% of the stuff that I don't really care about, and the SEC's problem is they have to like cover all the irrelevant teams. Oh, we got to devote this much attention to this, and I just don't. Yeah, I mean, I guess some of it, but I like Roman Harper. But I mean, do you ever watch the SEC Network? I mean, do you ever watch SEC Nation? I mean, even when it was here in Tuscaloosa, I'd prefer. I mean, I went and watched DeBoer, and that's probably the longest that I've even watched. I think Greg Byrne was on there for a couple of minutes, but other than that,
I like when Tebow speaks.
Tebow's good. Tebow's good.
Jordan Rogers does a good job too.
Jordan Rogers is good.
Ben Watson, he's pretty good.
But I mean, you're asking yourself
But
to
I mean, the
trade.
content they're covering, like you said, they got to cover Vanderbilt and Mississippi State.
I mean, you got to.
Who cares?
Yeah, you got to focus on that. That's why I couldn't work for the SEC network. Hey, spend some time talking about state. Why don't I want to talk about state?
But you want me to.
Play it, bro.
Till that time has come. That we might
Come on with it.
there's one. Can I dance with you?
Oh yeah, here we go. Here we go.
Oh, yeah.
I tell by the way you dress.
Man, that's good stuff. Did that not get you fired up, Bama Nick?
Gets me fired up every day, fella.
You play
every
that?
day.
That should be like your wake up song. Like, like the alarm clock should play that right there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. That's a good suggestion, pal.
You having a good day?
Oh, yeah. Having a great day, Ryan, pal.
Roll Tide. Roll Tide.
Roll Tide. And the Tide, I'm heavy on this weekend. I'm heavy on the Tide.
Well, I want to point out something. I want to take you back to the parlay pick contest last week.
No, don't do that, fella. Ruin my day.
Okay, I won't do it. But you pick somebody. You pick somebody.
Yeah, I won one.
No,
Yeah,
yeah, I know, but you pick somebody like Mercer.
Well, hell, fella, if you're getting 42.5, wouldn't you pick them?
No.
Yeah, that's because you ain't a betting man.
That's a lot of points to give up. You had some doubt.
Well, it was looking pretty good until Bama threw that. Austin Mack threw that last touchdown.
Roll Tide.
But I'm all in with the Tide.
All right.
With the Tide this weekend.
What you chewing on? You got some pecans being in Georgia? What you got?
Cashew nuts, cashews and macadamia.
Cashew nuts. I mean, that's the rich side of town, man.
Yeah, I ain't on the poor side of town no more. I got off the other side of the track.
Yeah,
so.
them salted peanuts. He's went to the cashew. Got it.
Well, I figured you'd go to Brett Beard before you come to me anyway.
Well, I can put you back on hold.
No, I don't want to hold another 20 minutes, fellas. It's cold out here on the patio.
Yeah, you're going to go inside, man. It's too cold.
Well, I don't smoke in the house. I have to sit here and smoke.
Now, is that a request by your wife, or is that a choice that you made?
Well, it's a choice we both make.
Oh, okay.
I'm a cat that don't smoke in the house, and I don't either.
Okay. So you sat out on the porch. The
patio, Will.
The patio. Well, I mean, porch sounds country,
Well, everybody's calling me a redneck. Who was it calling me a redneck? Pat? Or
Pat.
no, it was
it was Pat.
Pat, yeah.
Yeah, Pat.
Yeah. That's right. Pat picked up his call a little bit today.
Okay.
I listened to him.
So, that's the goal, right? Is to pick it up a little bit, right? That's what you want to do.
That's right. That's what I'm trying to get them all to do. All of them.
So you're like Nick Saban. You're just coaching them up.
Coaching them up, Ryan Fowler. I coach all these callers up.
Right.
Try to get on them.
Coach Saban didn't, putsy-foot around either.
No, he didn't pull no punches. Man, I don't pull punches. You know that. Your callers know that. So whenever they make a crappy call, I'm going to let them know about it.
Yeah, you bring the heat. Bring the heat.
That's right.
I mean,
that's right, pal. I ain't bringing it today.
Yeah, you just.
I ain't bringing much today because I ain't been pouring too many yet. That's why I got in early.
Oh, that's what it is?
Yeah, I don't want to take up everybody's time. I know there's a lot of callers wanting to get in. So on Fridays, I usually don't clatter too long.
Okay,
so everybody can get in.
Give me 3 picks. Go ahead. I'm ready.
I'm going with Bubba. I like Bubba's picks this week.
Do you really?
I'm taking Bama.
So now hold on real quick, because Bubba offered you an olive.
I know you're going to bring it up.
Bubba offered you an olive branch earlier this week. So are you accepting?
What did he offer? I didn't hear that part. I told you the other night I didn't hear that part of it.
He offered you a olive branch. He said that he's ready to work things out.
Well, fella, I wasn't the one that was offended. Bubba got offended when I got on his ass.
Well, are you going to offer him an olive branch? Maybe that's the better term.
Well, Bubba, he can message me anytime he wants.
Okay. Well,
I want to congratulate Josh on winning the parlay pick last week.
Well,
he ain't called in yet, but he won it.
He's up on the call board. How do you know he won it?
Well, I keep up with who does scores. I write down every one of your callers when they call in their scores. I write it down and keep up with it.
Well, thanks for bursting the excitement, Bama Nick.
Well, Josh burst today. He when he talked to you, I think it was Tuesday or something. He said he thinks he won it. He was pretty sure and confident. And I went back and looked. Yeah, he won it.
All right.
Well, Josh, I'm sorry I took your headlines away, but I call it like it is. Congratulations, Josh.
All right. Well,
let me give you my picks, and then I know you got Brett
I'm going to have to ask the state of Pennsylvania to count these votes. It'll take them 6 weeks to do it, but yeah, we'll let them go back through these parlay picks. All right, let's go.
Yeah. All right, give me Bama. And I like the over in the Bama game. Alabama scored 50 points for the third quarter start.
Okay, pick number 3.
Texas A&M. Texas A&M is going to go down to Auburn and just wear them out.
All right, and then we go in Bama passing yards.
I'm going 230.
Got it. Thank you, Bama Nick.
Oh, it's always a pleasure, Ryan Fowler.
Roll Tide.
It's always a pleasure talking to you and the rest of the callers.
Thank you, man. Appreciate you.
And keep it up. Keep on up, bad mouthing Bama Nick. I love it.
Roll Tide.
Ryan Fowler loves it too. It's great for ratings.
Hey, thank you, Bama Nick.
All right.
He's taking us to the top. He made us a promise 3 years ago. He was going to make us world famous. He's not made us world famous, but I will tell you in Beaver Falls, Pennsylvania, Devin's up there listing home of Joe Willie. Roll Tide. Beavertown, Pennsylvania, longtime listener, preacher in North Carolina, from Hookertown, North Carolina. Roll Tide from Anderson, South Carolina. He likes Alabama 37-13. Anderson, appreciate that. RTR 79. Candy's listening to us in Pelham, Alabama. Candy Pelham. I don't know what that means. Candy Pelham. Looks like his, I guess, Keith. But Roll Tide from Jason from T-Town. I-40 just outside of OKC. Jason from T-Town rolling right there. Be safe out there. Watch those Smoky Bears at next exit. They're sitting in the median looking back eastbound, westbound, shooting those photos. So Roll Tide from Jason. Appreciate you guys. Remember to drop us an app message. Find us on the Facebook account, R&R Cigars, 2703 6th Street, downtown Tuscaloosa. Relax and recharge. R&R Cigars. We're going to come back. We'll take Brent Beer. Sandwich, the French dip sandwich, a great option if you're looking for a club. You know what's better than the club? It's the Double Club, the Nukes Q sandwich, the #1 sandwich across the franchise. Salwat's California-style pizzas. And as these temps continue to drop, you'll find great soup specials. I love the chili. The loaded potato is always good as well. It is Nuke's Eatery, but they do daily soup specials, salads, California-style pizzas. We're going to Brent Beard coming up here in just a couple of seconds. We're also kind of throwing it out there. We appreciate you guys dropping us some app messages. We're actually getting bombarded with those, but keep them coming. I've got another listener out in Roll Tide from 30,000 feet above Colorado. He listened. Now, how about this, Jackson? Have we ever had a listener that just he's listening to us 30,000 feet above Colorado, Mesquite, Colorado, on the way home to Lexington, South Carolina. He's listening to us in an airplane. I wonder what kind of, I wonder if he's in a private or if he's in, obviously internet works up there, right? So, tell you what I want you to do. I want you to stand up and give them a big Roll Tide. See if anybody else out there. No, I don't want you to get kicked off. Listening to us in Greenville, South Carolina, Crimson Life. Thank you guys so much. I already went through the Beaver Falls, Appreciate those app messages. Roll Tide all over. So give us a Roll Tide. You can throw in a score in there, but it's kind of fun to see all the different listeners listening to us right here in Tuscaloosa, Alabama on Tide at 100.9 with the flagship home of Alabama Crimson Tide football. Let's go to Brent Beard, Jacksonville, Florida, First Coast News, ABC, NBC News affiliate. You can also find him on Second Helping with Travis Reier. Brent Beard, how are you, my friend? Welcome back to T-Town.
Well, I'm always delighted to be in T-Town, either in person or by the airwaves. So that's a good thing. Another big weekend of SEC football. Now, there aren't that many games that are huge, but the ones that are important, particularly the three, and you mentioned the podcast I do with Travis Reier, called Second Helpings. The point that he made was could with Auburn A&M, Alabama, Oklahoma, Ole Miss, and Florida, could the road team win all those games, or certainly at least some of those games? So that very, very, very interesting what's left with the conference.
No, it is. But I like to make the case, and I've heard different people debate it, and I'll try to respect most opinions, not all opinions, but some opinions. When you look at the Big Ten and comparing it to the SEC, I know Ohio State and I know Oregon would be competitive in the SEC. I'm not sure Penn State and Indiana would be.
Listen, I have thought about that as of late. And then agree with you, and then you go on down the line. Now, they added USC and UCLA, and neither one of them are. Look, you and I have talked about this for years. The thing that makes this conference as good as it is, meaning the ACC, the SEC, is frankly the middle of the conference because, Ryan, from Ole Miss, Vandy, Arkansas, Missouri, and South Carolina, and Lord, I would even throw Florida in there. Those are teams that you could very much lose to. But when you go to Minnesota, Illinois, Wisconsin, Michigan, Washington, Michigan State, Nebraska, you've got a lot of 3 and 3s and 2 and 4s as far as conference play is concerned. So I would agree with you. I've always thought that the strength of this conference for the SEC is the middle of the pack, meaning those teams, Ryan, can't they? They are very capable of beating you on any given day, and I'm just not sure you've got that, the Big Ten.
No, I don't think you do. When you start looking at the Big Ten, and we prop up a lot of these teams by default, somebody's got to win. Somebody has to win up in the Big Ten, and I think that's where we were at with Illinois. I think we were there early on. I was sitting here with 6 and 4. They're the 5th place team in the league. What would Iowa do in the SEC? Nothing. Zero. Minnesota, 6th place in the league. They have a winning record in the Big Ten. What would Minnesota do here?
Right. Sure. Yeah. I get that. And look, we're not saying that these teams would not at some point be competitive and that they could not pull off an upset. But and let me give you another way of thinking about this. And this is kind of unusual, but most of the time we have said the same thing about the ACC. Now, the ACC has added SMU, which amazingly is leading the league, and Rat Lashley just got a raise. But when you talk to ACC fans, what they're tired of is, I don't want to go to another Florida State home game and end up having to deal with Syracuse or Wake or Duke or NC State or North Carolina or Virginia. Shall I go on? I know you get the picture, and that's why the FSU fans want to be in the Big Ten. But honestly, for Ryan, for this year, I mean, there are teams in the ACC that could beat the teams in the Big Ten.
No, great point. Yeah, no, I'm right there with you. So, it kind of sets us up. Let's go to this Ohio State game with Indiana. I mean, I think you're going to see, because tomorrow Ohio State's going to prove our point.
Yeah,
Indiana,
sure.
we've kind of propped up because of their schedule, because by default somebody's got to win.
Yeah,
Indiana has done a good job for Indiana.
Sure they have. Yes,
but I'm not sure this team would. Like if Alabama played Indiana or Georgia played Indiana. I mean, because that's what you're matching up with. You're matching up not with your first place team, but your second and third place team in the SEC. I don't think they would even be able to compete.
No, I would agree with that. Now look, again, to your point, and Ryan and I are not disparaging Indiana. We're just making the point. And Kirk Cignetti deserved his extension and raise. Now the mistake schools make is they give them an 8-year extension instead of what they should do is give them a Ryan, a 3, 4, 5-year extension. That would be a lot more realistic, would it not?
It would be, yeah. And he's done. He spent time in here, so we're biased toward him. We're pulling for him.
Sure.
But at the end of the day, you're Indiana. And maybe this is what this 12-team playoff does. Is it forces us to spread outside of the norm. So maybe that's a good thing for the health of the game of college football.
Agree with that totally. I think there's a lot of truth to that. We wanted more access, and I think to a degree we would be able to get that. So, and we're still trying to figure out, without rehashing all this that you've heard all week, trying to figure out really what does this committee value? Does this committee value strength of schedule, or do they just value what's in the win or loss column? And it's almost taken us to the end of the season to begin to understand that.
Brent, I want to go to a couple of different games. Texas A&M travels to Auburn tomorrow. This line's a little bit kind of confusing. Texas A&M minus the 2.5. Have you seen enough in Auburn to think that this game can be this close? I mean, offensively, but I mean, I know Texas A&M has problems, but so does Auburn.
No doubt about that. By the way, a loss for Auburn would give them five Power 4 home losses, first time since 1998. So that now look, the defense for Auburn can certainly keep them in the game. They've allowed 74 yards rushing per game and limited quarterbacks to less than 50% in the last 4 games. But Marcel Reed is coming on as quarterback. Look, I don't know if Auburn can block Nick Skirton, Shamir Stewart, Cassius Howell, and that defensive line. Ryan, can you? That's the big thing with that. Mike Elko let it slip this week. Quote, our focus is single-handedly on Texas. Oops, I mean Auburn. So I think that was a Freudian, and that's kind of where they are going. But look, now I know this is not scientific, but you and your audience will understand this. Is that 2.5 because they're expecting Auburn voodoo?
I think you just nailed it. I think you just nailed it.
Take over the game.
I think you just nailed it right there. I think what you just said is probably looking ahead to Texas.
Yeah.
That maybe, because I mean, think about it. I mean, they've been talking about this game for years.
Sure,
it's not just a yearly rival. This is Texas A&M. That's a great point. Maybe that's why this spread is so long. And we'll talk to a handicapper coming up in the 4 o'clock hour. Might discuss this. Brent, let's go to Alabama and Oklahoma. It's out in Norman, and this is the crazy part, is it's going to be warmer there than it is here in Tuscaloosa. So that cold.
That's hilarious, frankly.
Now the wind is going to be a little high out there, but as far as temp, it's going to be in the 60s tomorrow at kickoff. It's cold today in Tuscaloosa.
Yeah, well, I understand. Look, even in Jacksonville, Florida, in the morning, it's going to be in the 30s. So, I mean, that's highly unusual. what I've heard on a consistent basis, and I'm curious if you have too, from Oklahoma beat writers, and I've heard from two of them this week, is for Alabama, what they really need to do is be patient, and somewhere in the third and fourth quarters, Oklahoma self-destructs. And look, it's kind of unusual to hear a beat writer admit that, but that's kind of what you're hearing. The offensive line had to be rebuilt, and it's still being rebuilt. The wide receivers, up to 5 of them have been hurt. Quarterbacks, they have replaced guys. Now they're really legit on the defense. Danny Stutzman is one of those guys. The Bowman kid, or really good. Although they've had a lot of injuries. Also, that they're trying to get bowl eligible. And you probably heard this week about Brent Venables talking about his wife. Her cancer is returned after being in remission, and he's having to help her and coach his football team. Boy, Ryan, that would be a really unenviable position to be in when it's.
It would be. And that's a tough part of life. It throws us a lot of curveballs at time to time. We were talking earlier this week with one of the the guys out there, and they say these Oklahoma fans they don't want Brent Venables. They're giving up. And I can always look at just one quick thing: ticket value, face value for Alabama coming to town.
Oh yeah.
$80. Some of them are less than face value.
Yeah.
When you look at this game, that tells me that those Oklahoma fans are not really engaged. No, you know what? I'm wrong. It's now went below face value. I just looked at StubHub. $60 will get you in.
Well, and to compare that to your listeners, what they are going through with Venables is what Bama fans went through with in his last year with Mike Shula, in particular with Mike Dubose. Virtually hoping the team would lose so that they would get another coach. But I will say this, and we talked about this at the beginning of the season, is what identity will this Alabama team eventually be able to put together. And I'm not sure it's a defensive identity, Ryan. When you force 24 turnovers, you're plus 13 in turnover margin, which is the fourth best in Division I. Now look, they're getting better offensively, but for this team to do what it's done and hope to continue to do, this defense is going to continue to improve, and it does. And look, they may have one of these games tomorrow night with Oklahoma's defense, to where they win this game with their own defense and kicking game. So, but I know some Nick Saban teams have done that, but is that fair to say that this team is forging an identity with its defense?
I think absolutely. I think the job that Kane Wommack has been able to do is pretty impressive. Brent, I want to take you to LSU, and you say, why in the world are we talking about LSU Vanderbilt? It's hard to think of a guy who needs a win more than Brian Kelly. Lost the number one recruit in the entire country, Bryce Underwood, get beat by Billy Napier and the Florida Gators, getting beat the week prior to Alabama. Can LSU get back on track against the Vanderbilt Commodores?
Well, they host Vanderbilt instead of the game being at Vanderbilt. Now, this first time since 2016 that Kelly won't win 10 games. So, he's built up some equity with that. They are still having problems with mobile quarterbacks. Marcel Reed, Jalen Milroe, all own LSU. And we know Vanderbilt and what they can do, and they can 3 and 4 yard you to death. And that they could very well do that with LSU. The defense is continue to struggle. You mentioned the offense, Bryce Underwood going to Michigan. Boy, that really hurt them in a lot of ways. What we thought would be really good was their offensive line, but it really does not. Does it? And now Garrett Dellinger may come back on the offensive line. That would help them. I know this has caught your attention, but what does it tell you, though, when we're used to coaches screaming at players, but what does it tell you when Kelly's players are screaming at him on the sidelines? That is, Ryan, that is a culture problem or some issue on that team that eventually has to be ironed out, doesn't it?
Well, how do you fix it? I mean, how do you reestablish that, Brent Beard? Brent, I always appreciate you. Let me invite people to connect with you. Brent Beard on the Twitter account, X account, at Brent Beard. Find him there. You can also find him Second Helping, First Coast News, Jacksonville, Florida. He's a Heisman voter. He's a guy that loves college football as much as we do. Brent, I hope you have a great rest of your day, man. All right, 2 hours in, 2 hours to go. Alabama has loaded the buses. They're about to depart for Norman, Oklahoma, going to get a win, hopefully, and Alabama can try to find a way to get to Atlanta. They need to win this one. They need to win the Auburn game and then pull for the Missouri Tigers to beat either Mississippi State or Arkansas. We're going to see if Lee Sterling can give us some good news here in just a couple of seconds. We're going to break down a lot of college football. We are always powered by Tuscaloosa Toyota, TuscaloosaToyota.com. We're also doing SEC Parlay Pick Contest presented by Brian Harden Construction, ASME certification, I-beam installation, fabrication. If you're building from the ground up, let's build something together. We have a crane and we will travel, not just certified to work in our community, but our neighboring states as well throughout the great state of Alabama. BHardenConst.com, BHardenConst.com. And right now we go to Lee Sterling, ParamountSports.com. Lee Sterling, welcome back to T-Town. I hope you're having an amazing day.
I am. How are you today?
Good. Oh, super good, man. We're having a great day, and this Alabama team has turned a corner, and I know we'll get to that coming up in a couple of minutes. But college football. Here we are. It goes too fast, my friend. It goes too fast.
I know. Crazy. It's week 13 now?
It is. 2 weeks in the regular season.
Crazy. Too quick.
Lee, let's jump right into it. Texas takes on Kentucky. They do it as a big favorite here, minus the points.
So Kentucky, for them to have a shot in this game, they're probably going to have to control the ball. And their 2 best games against Georgia had the ball for almost 36 minutes, and then they had it for almost 40 minutes when they played Ole Miss and pulled off the upset. I don't know if they can do that again. So Texas is a mystery in a lot of ways, as are a lot of teams. They're up 13-0 against Arkansas, and it should have been probably 17 or 21-0. Had to settle for 2 short field goals. And then just fell asleep and then woke up and realized, we're in a game. So talent-wise, I think they're top 2, top 3 in the country. But coaching-wise, just don't seem to have that just pure focus that you need to be a champion yet. So we'll see if they can pick it up. Some people say they're looking ahead to Texas A&M. I don't think so. I think you might see one of their better efforts here. So I'm gonna lay the points here. I'm gonna take Texas. Probably not a game I'm giving my clients, but we do all the big SEC games. I think they'll probably end up on the right side, 35-10.
All right. The next one is the one I'm excited to talk about because LSU. Alabama went down to Baton Rouge, hammered up there. They go to Florida, they lose. I don't know if you follow recruiting. Bryce Underwood, the number 1 recruiter in the entire country, just decommitted. Brian Kelly needs a win for that fan base, minus the 7 against Vanderbilt. What do you think?
So LSU 1 week looked like maybe the best team in the country when they just hammered Arkansas. And then since that time, they have not looked good at all. So I can't explain it. They're obviously not that good, but maybe they're not quite as bad as what we've seen. And maybe this team, I wouldn't say is given up here, but they really have nothing to play for. When you have nothing to play for, it showed in the second half last week against Florida. They were never in that game once that second half started, dominated by Florida. Now Vanderbilt, you see when they go up against a team that has a lot of talents, big, strong, and fast, like a South Carolina, could match up. But almost every other game they have, and they're 5-1 against the spread as an underdog here. They have nothing to lose here. I think their quarterback is. We know that LSU has trouble with mobile quarterbacks. Going to give them some problems. I think LSU is going to win this game 35-30, but I'll take the points here in Vandy. I think they got a shot.
All right. Ole Miss going to Florida. They go there as a pretty heavy favorite here. Talk to me.
So everyone knows about the Ole Miss offense, and they are good. When they're on, they are really on. But Florida's not faced a dual-threat quarterback yet this year. Now, I've had a couple come in during the game that they faced, but not from start to finish. And I think Jackson Dart might really stress this defense. Over 3,100 passing yards, 22 touchdowns, over 300 rushing yards, and 3 touchdowns. They didn't have to worry about that last week with Garrett Nussmeier. What people don't understand, Ole Miss has a really good defense. I think their defense is very underestimated. So their run defense, well, they're only second in the country at giving up just 2.2 yards per carry. Florida needs to run the ball to be effective. If they're in a bunch of third and long situations, they're not going to be able to convert. Their quarterback Lagway is not 100%, not a running threat now. He's got the injury. He stays in the pocket. If they have some third and long situations, that's where Ole Miss really does their best work. They lead the nation with 46 sacks. I also think that I'm almost sure that Trey Harris will play in this game for Ole Miss, and when he's in, it adds a different dimension to them. Give Florida credit. They made a really good move by holding on to Billy Napier. Now they don't have to start all over. They have a pretty good freshman and sophomore class. They're starting to recruit well over the last couple of weeks, and I think that win was big for them last week. They should be able to get to a bowl, even if they don't win this game and beat Florida State. I like Ole Miss, though. I think they're just too much here. Game's at 12 noon also, which helps out Ole Miss, 34-16, Ole Miss.
All right, this is the one that I have been excited to talk with you from when I started looking at the spreads. Texas A&M goes to Auburn. Auburn is a team that is 4 wins. I mean, they need to beat Texas A&M and Alabama to finish 500. They're guaranteed not to have a winning season. But it starts tomorrow against Texas A&M. Texas A&M minus the 2.5 in Lee County.
So, what did you think this line was going to be when it came out?
I thought it would be more than this. I mean, I'm not saying.
Yep. I mean, I think most people did.
Yeah, I mean, 3 points for home field advantage, right?
Right.
I mean, they're pretty much saying this thing is a pick 'em. I mean, is that what they're saying?
Oh, they're saying that no, Texas A&M on a neutral field would have been probably 6 points.
Yeah,
would have been 6.
I got you. My bad.
And then if they were home, it would have been 9. I thought it would have been like 4.5, 5 points. So I thought it would have been a little bit higher. I do think, though, the reason it is as low as it is because they just looked so poor on the road in their last game against South Carolina. They were just dominated. I don't think that's the true Texas A&M team. I think they were just flat. So when you watch Auburn, they should be better than what they are. Now, part of the reason they're not is quarterback, but they do gain an average of 407 yards in SEC play, and that translates usually to an average of about 28 or 29 yards. You know, if you're better in the red zone, you're in probably the low 30s normally. If you're not, probably the mid-20s. But they are not even close to that. So obviously their play calling and their quarterback play are probably the biggest culprits here. So I just think that Texas A&M is going to come to play here. I think that they're going to rotate the quarterbacks once they get and they see the defense that Auburn's going to show them here. And I think they're going to have some success. I think some people said they might be looking ahead. I don't see that. I like Texas A&M here. I think they win this game here 30-17.
All right. Now we come to the University of Alabama. The University of Alabama taking on Oklahoma. We've got it at 13.5. When you look at on the road in Norman, Oklahoma, we were looking at some of the research and kind of give credit to CBSSports.com. You got to go back to 1997, the last time Oklahoma was a double-digit underdog at home. That was against Texas A&M in the Big 8. Alabama goes there as a pretty big favorite. What do you think?
Well, how many fans do you think Alabama's going to travel to this game.
I think there's going to be quite a bit because the tickets are in a surplus. I mean, we were just looking with a guest that was right prior to you from Jacksonville, Florida. Ticket prices right now are under face value in Norman.
Wow. That's crazy.
That tells me they're not very confident in Brent Venables. In other words, they're not confident, and he may be losing some power there, equity.
Yep. All right, so here's how I see this game. If this line was under 10, I would take Alabama all day long. But, when you get to 13 points, almost 2 touchdowns, Oklahoma has a good defense. I don't know if they're better than Alabama's, but it's pretty good. Their offense has been their biggest problem. I mean, turnovers, the receivers, at one point they were down their top 6 receivers. So I think they're going to be able to move the ball a little bit, and they're going to try to get first downs, try to not make mistakes, and if they fall behind by double digits, it's over. If that happens late first, early second period. But I have a feeling in front of the home crowd, even though it's not going to be like, they're top 10 ranked or anything like that, I think they're going to be able to do enough. I think they might even put in a couple trick plays here that Alabama hasn't seen. They have nothing to lose. I think Alabama's going to win 27-17, but I think this is one of those trap games. I think they're going to stay within the number here, and OU's going to keep it close most of the game.
Okay.
All right.
All right, I gotta slip in. I know we do SEC, and I know we got a free play, but I gotta ask you about Indiana and Ohio State because it seems to be the national game. Any thoughts there?
Yeah. So I think even though Ohio State lost their center, backup kid would probably start almost anywhere. Here's a stat that's crazy: the last 14 times an undefeated top 5 team has been a double-digit underdog. That undefeated underdog 0-14 straight up. Just 5-9 against the spread. As good as Indiana's offense is, and it's good, their defense, I identify, when I watch them, I'm not that impressed. Why? They haven't faced one good offense. They haven't even faced a top 40 offense this year. The best 2 offenses are Maryland at 44 and Washington, when they traveled there, number 58. Ohio State is the real deal. They got 2 running backs, 2, maybe 3 wide receivers that are going to go first or second round. I think they're that good. And who's Indiana's defense faced? Teams like FIU, Western Illinois, Charlotte, who fired their coach, Northwestern, who couldn't score if you gave them 6 downs every time they got a first down. And even Nebraska's already replaced their offensive coordinator, and the 2 Michigan teams here. I think it's too much of a step up here for Indy, and I'm rooting for them, but I like Ohio State 38-17.
Lee, we're going to have to tease this because I was going to ask you about the Missouri Tigers because we need them to win one of the next 2 weeks without giving me a spread. Don't tell me what you're going to pick against the line because I want to give you that free play. But do you think the Missouri Tigers can give Alabama the hope they need?
I think they've got a chance. I don't love their play calling. I think their play calling has been their big. It's not going to be. They're going to win this game, obviously. Against
that's all we need.
I think they're going to win, but the spread can come into play here. So next week is going to be the big week here. So you want to get this free game though. This is an 8-point spread today, going for tomorrow's game, Missouri and Mississippi State. First 5 callers to call 800-400-9741. We will give them the game for free. 800-400-9741. If they want to get this Missouri and Mississippi State game. And how about this? Our college football game of the year goes tomorrow. It's a 50-unit max wager. And how on the money have we been on these 40 to 50-unit plays? Well, history of our company, 70-26. That is 73% lifetime on the 40 to 50-unit max wager. So if you want to get in on this game of the year or try us out for a couple weeks, check out all the specials, ParamountSports.com.
Lee Sterling, I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much, and we'll talk to you next Wednesday. We'll set up the weekend there with a big Iron Bowl here. ParamountSports.com. Lee, thank you so much. Have a great rest of your day. Thank you. We'll continue with more of the game. OKC, they're going to be sitting down about 5 minutes before this show comes to a conclusion for the week, and we'll shut it down and get ready for Game Day All Day presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors, Highway 280. Your chance to go over and See the folks on Highway 280, Academy Sports and Outdoors. Academy Sports and Outdoors. We're doing game day all day tomorrow starting at 1:30. Hey, we're having some fun here today. We're asking you if you'll send us an app message, and you can go to Tide109.com. Tell us where you're listening to us from. Give us a roll, Tide. We appreciate that. We're talking a little Alabama Crimson Tide football, and we'll go right back to the phone calls. Joe and Dothan. Joe, good afternoon. You're in the game. Hey, Joe. All right. Going once, going twice. No Joe. Joe? Joe's gone. How about Elias? Elias, good afternoon. You're in the game.
Roll Tide, Ron. How you doing today?
I'm good. Roll Tide to you, man.
Yes, sir. Like I said, I came out yesterday, so I've been enjoying this weather. And it's been a great trip, man. I've been able to see a lot of military buddies I haven't seen in 10, 20 years. It's been a great time so far.
Yeah, I'm awesome. So is it fellow Alabama fans or no, just
a mixture of different fans. You know, in military you got fans of all different schools.
Sure. I mean,
but some Alabama, some Notre Dame, some USC, but it was just great to see each other that, you know, we haven't seen each other like since 05, 06. So it's been great to see a lot of guys. We all came together last night and had dinner, and we had lunch today, and it's been a great time.
Well, I'll tell you this: it's warmer there than it is here in Tuscaloosa. It is freezing here. It
is really it is really nice here. And the one thing I've been loving here as well, the speed limit between Fort Sill, Oklahoma, and Norman, 80 miles an hour on the highway.
Really? Okay.
80 miles an hour.
Yeah, well, it's all right, but watch him smoke you bears, because 80 turns into 90 very quick.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. They was out earlier this morning.
I was trying to get you a restaurant out there. You already got dinner plans for this evening?
Well, not yet. We're going to go out to a high school game tonight. One of the powerhouses between Norman and Lawton, Oklahoma. So we're just going to go check out that game tonight, and then we're just going to head back to Norman.
Okay. All right. Okay. Well, I probably won't better give you that, but there's a great Thai place there. I know I've talked about it 3 or 4 times, but, man, it is I think they call it Pee-wee. I think is what it's called. I think. Don't quote me. And I was looking up to see if I could think of the name of it. And I just looked.
Yeah, if you can, just message it. Just send me a message about it, because like I said, we're gonna be out and about all day tomorrow before the game, so we probably hit it up tomorrow before the game.
Yeah, but you know the trip that that's not it. I looked at the front of it's not it. That's not it. It's man, it is tremendous, man. It was delicious out there. It's like, man, it was almost worth the trip. And there's also a really good burger place, but. I was telling the audience, the big thing for me in Norman, Oklahoma was marijuana shops everywhere.
Oh, yes.
I mean, every block.
And they got
it must be like a bunch of dope smoking fools out there.
And they got the 420 flags flying high, so you know where they're located at, too.
Yes. I mean, it's everywhere. I mean,
yes, sir.
Yeah. So. All right.
Yes, sir. Yes, indeed.
Elias, I appreciate you checking in from Oklahoma City. Thank you. I'm glad you've been able to catch up with your military buddies. You retired out of the Army, right?
Yes, correct. Yes, sir. So it's been great to see a lot of guys and see a lot of their children now graduating from high school and college now. It's been an awesome trip. So a lot of memories.
All right. Super cool. All right. Well, I'm ready for your predictions. Give me 3. SEC Parlay Pick Contest presented by Brian Harden Construction.
Give me Texas A&M.
Okay.
Give me the over for the Vandy LSU.
Okay, so you want Vandy LSU game over, and then pick number 3. All right.
And number 3, give me Ole Miss.
Okay, Ole Miss. And then we're going passing yards for the University of Alabama.
Give me 230.
Okay, Texas A&M, LSU over at Ole Miss 2:30. I got it, Elias. Thank you, man.
Yes, sir. Thank you, and roll tide.
Yeah, right back to you. Thank you. Elias calling us from Norman, Oklahoma. We appreciate that. Let's go 205-342-9904. And we go to Joseph. Joseph, good afternoon. You're in the game. I hope all is well. Joseph. All right. How about Stephen in Raleigh, North Carolina? Stephen, good afternoon. You're in the game.
Roll Tide, Ryan.
Roll Tide. How are you, man?
Roll Tide.
Roll
I'm
Tide.
good. I'm good. Just busy. You know, I told you I've been taking this other job, and it just I don't get to listen to you as much, though. I don't get to call in as much either.
Okay. Well,
but it's okay.
I mean, we're you got to make that
I
money,
go back
man.
and listen to you.
You got to make that.
You got to make the money. You got to make the money while you can.
All right. So if you go back and listen to interviews, you must go back. You must go back and listen to Brian Bosworth.
I caught yesterday because I was on hold, and then I lost the cell signal. I caught about at least half of it.
He was incredible.
So,
he was incredible.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun to be able to hear him. Very inspiring.
He wasn't too keen on the transfer portal and the NIL.
All right, and let's talk about this from an LSU taking up for these guys for just a couple of minutes, okay? I know LSU's had some issues. Bryce Underwood decommitting, number one player. We've kind of had fun with our rival and poking some fun and aggravating a little bit. But you do think about it from a desperation standpoint that we are in the time now where losing after a national championship has made desperation in Ann Arbor, that they're rolling out this cash. And there seems to be a lot of buzz that they're coming after a lot of different recruits. And I'm not talking about Alabama, I'm just talking about in general, that they're willing to pay. You know, Matt Moscona, even though we like to take shots at him and aggravate him because he's a friend of ours, he said that he heard that the offer for Bryce Underwood was $12.5 million. Is this the world that we're living in college football?
How can we sustain that? I mean, how can football sustain that? I already agree with you on the ADs on the playoff committee. They've got money to be made there. You can't tell me that doesn't affect their decision, because now you got these players making coaches' salaries, Ryan, making coaches' salaries. Can the coach even coach anymore? Can you coach a kid that's making more than you? I know you go in the NFL, but that's his job. It's his coach.
Well, the issue is these kids are not NFL brains. I mean, Stephen,
no, they're still youth. They're still young men.
Well, they're still developing. I mean, go back to Jackson. I know you're a young guy. Don't take this the wrong way, man. I look back at myself, and I wish that me at my age could go back and talk to Ryan at 18, 19, and 20, because there's things that I did back there. I took more risk. I mean, I look back and I think about, did I really, really do that? And listen, not all kids are like that. Some of those guys are make wiser decisions than what I did when I was young. But if you gave me at 18, 19, $1 million, Stephen, I'm not sure I'd have lived to see tomorrow.
No. I mean, if I'd even had between the internet and the money being passed out nowadays, I'd be in prison. I wasn't making good decisions back then. I didn't have any of those things.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, you add it to that. Wow. I mean, this is the world. This is the world. But I mean, a $12.5 million to a young man that has, in reality of things, has accomplished some, but hasn't accomplished a ton.
Yeah.
$12.5 million.
Well, I love college basketball, Ryan. And I do want to talk about that just for a second before I give you my scores.
How about that, Wayne?
How about 100 points and Mark Sears not scoring any of it? How about a young man not scoring and then at 2:29, 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning up there putting up 500-600 shots? That's why this team's going to win, Ryan.
It's that work ethic, and that's that Nate Oates personality coming through with his basketball team.
Right. And we haven't even. I watched the way we're using the big Amori. He's not even getting that many minutes right now, Ryan. And he only played 13 minutes the other night. He had 6 points and 6 rebounds, I believe. He's we tend to go with a more athletic lineup quite a bit, and we're getting nothing out of Stevenson yet. Getting nothing out of him. He hasn't made a single 3-pointer in any game, and I don't think, I don't believe for 1 second that's going to last all year. I think there's some of these players, and then you talk about Youngblood, who's out hurt right now. He was the MVP of his league, Ryan.
And he should be back
last
that
year.
First few days of December is what the projection is.
December. So
and we saw him the other against Illinois up in Legacy Arena. He was taking some shots. So.
Oh, did you see him? You saw that?
No, I
so
did
you
not.
were
I saw
there.
a video. No, I did not. I was on the air.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Gotcha. But, the sky's the limit for this basketball team, Ryan. I know we lost to Purdue, and I think that's going to end up being a good thing for us. And we haven't shot well yet. We shot better against Illinois the other night, but overall, this team hasn't shot well since the first game. The first game we shot really well, but Mark Sears, Stevenson, several other players have not really shot that. Even Reitzel. Reitzel didn't miss a single free throw last year, not a single one. In the second game of the year, I believe it was, he missed his first free throw ever in the University of Alabama. He missed the first free throw he had. He missed a single one last year.
Steve, you going to that UNC game up in North Carolina?
I would if the tickets weren't $400 a piece.
Yeah, they may drop. You may never.
Yeah, that's what I'm watching. I'm watching it. I'm watching it. I'm going to go if they drop. But
all right, Steven.
I'm going to go down to South Carolina. I'm going to go down to the South Carolina game. Columbia, that's like 2.5, 3 hours. I'm going to go to that game for sure. So, you ready? You ready for my scores?
Yep, let's go. 3 picks.
Okay, I'm going to go Alabama.
Bama.
Texas A&M.
Okay. Pick number 3.
Can I pick Indiana?
You can. That was the only non-conference game that we put up there, and it's IU, Ohio State minus the 11.
Lee Sterling. I went with all 3 of his picks several weeks ago, and I missed all 3 of them. And he picked Ohio State. He picked against Alabama. So I'm going opposite of him. I'm gonna go Indiana, right. Alabama, Texas A&M.
All right, and then Bama
186.
186 for Bama passing against the Oklahoma Boomer Sooners. Stephen, thank you so much, man. Hope you have a great rest of your day.
Good to talk to you.
Thank you.
Roll Tide.
Thank you. We'll continue with more SEC Parlay Pick Contest. R&R Cigars, 2703 6th Street, 2703 6th Street. R&R Cigars. We're going to continue with more. We'll get back to those phone calls. Let's see. AC in Bangladesh will take you. Dale in Moundville, Karen in Tuscaloosa, Tommy in Romulus, and many others. T-Town Tide, 100.9, 1230 WTBC, your home of Alabama Crimson Tide Sports. Fourth Port Power Equipment. Let's continue with our SEC Parlay Pick Contest, and we go to Bangladesh. AC in Bangladesh. AC, good afternoon. You're in the game.
Good afternoon, sir. How you feeling? Thank you so much for taking my call.
Man, we have missed you so much. How are you?
Well, I called you 2 weeks ago. I mean, it's been 2 weeks, man. I'm good. How you feeling?
We still missed you.
When you say we, I keep catching we. Who is we are you referring to?
Jackson and I.
Perfect. And the studio, right? The bosses, they miss me. They all miss me.
We're the only ones in the building today.
Yeah, I know.
I mean,
how's your family, Mr. Fowler?
I mean, I'm sure they were here this morning, but we are Jackson and I, we are cutting out the lights when we leave at 6 p.m.
Okay. All right, perfect. So let me
they'll
give
be
you my
here tomorrow
prediction.
because it's game day all day. But
of course,
Jackson, was there an email that we just didn't receive that we were not supposed to be here? I mean, is it because this building is vacant? Will you check and see? I mean, are we supposed to be here today? Was today a federal holiday?
I think today was National Stay at Home because LSU can't recruit day.
Oh, is that what it is? Okay, we're celebrating that. But all right, AC, go ahead. You want to tell me something? Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, it's fine. I asked, how's your family doing? All right. I guess they're doing good, right?
We are incredible, man.
Perfect. Let me give you my prediction. Next week, Texas, they're going to cry. Auburn Tigers, they're going to cry big time. I hope this time is 4th and 32. All the way, baby.
4th and 32? Look at you. Look at you.
Oh, yeah. Are you serious? 4th and 31. They could do a little bit better than that. 4th and 32. I hope Texas A&M smacks Texas so bad. I hope they put 50 points on them. I really hope. But Ohio State is going to put away Indiana. They're going to get to those cheating Michigan. Matter of fact, I'm sorry.
Well, you've given me like six. You've given me like 6 predictions. Which 3 you want to go with?
I know. Do you have any idea how crazy I get? But let me stick with your parlay because I got to take my medication pretty soon. But go ahead. Your parlay, you ready?
Yeah, I mean, you want me to write
I'm
down?
I'm going to take.
Okay, go ahead.
I hope so. I'll take Texas A&M.
Texas A&M against
Georgia
the Bugs. All right, go ahead. Pick number 2.
Yes, sir. And I'll take your team, the Georgia Bulldogs.
Yeah, they're my favorite team.
Oh, yeah. I know you love them. I know you love the next one, Tennessee Volunteers, who chokes like a dog.
You really feel that way?
Mm-hmm. Wait, for them to cover the spread or they choke like a dog? Which one?
Both.
Yeah, I mean, they would cover the spread, and they do choke like a dog when it comes to big games. I mean, they party like it's like no tomorrow, and then they lay an egg. I mean, come on. They're not relevant. They're just overhyped. They're just like Josh Heupel. Too big. Bigger you are, harder you fall. Now, something about the yardage. What's that again?
It's passing yards by the University of Alabama against the Oklahoma Boomer Sooners, but
231.
Okay. AC, since you're really, really good at this, 231, I'd love for you to break down this
231.
This Alabama-Oklahoma game. I mean, you're really good at these parlay picks. What do you think?
Well,
I mean, you chose not to choose.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
Decide between Oklahoma.
Well, I don't know what you mean by. I don't know what you mean by good.
I'm trying to make you feel good. Please accept the. Trying to make you feel good.
Sure.
Okay.
Well, I always stick with my prediction. I predicted before the season there's an upset, and I will stay with my pick. I'm not going to flip flop. I see Oklahoma winning this game. That's the way how I see it.
I gotta go.
But the problem is, they look. Oh yeah, of course. Now you're going to run, right?
You've been very complimentary of Alabama all season. What made you change?
I did, but I did tell you Ohio State is going to raise the banner, the championship trophy. That's what I told you, right? And I predicted 4th and 32. I'm hoping. Which one do you want to see before we hang up? Do you want to see 4th and 32, or would you rather see 76-10 Alabama? Which one do you want to see?
Do I want to see what now?
The Iron Bowl next weekend between Alabama, Auburn. Out of the 2 options, which one do you want to see? Option number 1, 4th and 32. Well, would you rather see Bama win big?
I hope it didn't come down to 4th down, to be honest with you.
Okay, so you want to see 76-10, the slaughter. That's what you want to see, right?
Yeah, I want to make them.
See 4th and 32.
I want to make them quit.
Make them quit. No, I want heartbreak. 4th and 32. Matter of fact, forget it. 4th and 100, I hope. Love you, bro. Holla.
Okay, holla. Holla. Let's go to Dale in Moundville. Dale, good afternoon. You're in the game.
Good afternoon, my friend Ryan Fowler.
Boy, that guy's a trip, isn't he?
There ain't no way Oklahoma's beating Alabama. No way.
Oh, no, Dale. Confident Dale? Oh, no.
I'm not saying we may not blow them out, but based on what Oklahoma's done now, and I know you can't always go by that, but, I just don't see it, right? They don't have an offense, man. They got too many injuries on their receivers. There's too many injuries, and they don't have a quarterback that's proved that they can move the ball. So, but Ryan, we got a major problem.
What is it?
This NIL deal you're talking about, these deals like this is going to deal us right out of college football. It's going to make Alabama a mediocre team. It is kind of sickening. We've talked about it before. It's ruining college football. We're losing all of our recruits, it looks like, already. People stealing them left and right. I know all of them hadn't left, but a lot of them is being courted real heavily by other schools that's talking about big NIL deals. It just makes me sick to the pit of my stomach.
It's weird to think about a contract or a player that's making $12.5 million, and that's what according to Matt Moscona. Now, we don't have anything of, solid to confirm that, but regardless, that is a lot of cash, $12.5 million.
You're saying that now, but hey, it could be way worse. It could be way worse than that before it's over with. Look at the money that the baseball players make. They're going to be just like professional athletes. It's going to be astronomical. And it's going to be where the little man sure ain't going to be able to get in the football game. It's just heading that way. I hate to see it, but I don't know how much longer I'm going to live to see it anyway, but in 10 or 12 years, it's just going to be ridiculous. But probably even 5 years, ridiculous to what they're probably going to be making. It's not going to be worth watching. There's not going to be any.
And here's the issue, though, Dale. It's not about the player. I'm not blaming the player. It's the system that's here. That's what just burns you up when you're sitting here going, guys, can somebody take charge of college football?
Right. They'd be a fool not to make that kind of money. It ain't got nothing to do with the players. I agree totally. It's nothing to do with players. It's just the system is messed up. Maybe Tommy Tuberville can help it somehow, but stop the bleeding. But it's like a dam right now that you just can't block up. It's out of control, and it's heading toward like baseball contracts. I think baseball's out of. I quit watching baseball because of it. Just so much money that's just crazy. That nobody stays nowhere. It's just this guy's going this way. It's just a constant player moving here, moving there. You don't know it. You don't even know who any of the players are playing for no more. None of them. That's the way it's going to be in college football, and it's getting that way already. And we just started this thing.
It's a good point.
Well, anyway,
here we are. It's the world that we live in. It's. Like I said, I was on a conference call, and this was a off-record call with a senator, and we were listening to him talk about the NIL world. He thinks, Dale, because you have the executive branch, conservative, okay? Now, generally deregulation is because that's what the conservative values are, right? Get your government out of your life. But in some ways, we need the government to regulate this. But with the judicial branch leaning towards the right, the executive branch leaning towards the right, and both legislative branches, the Senate and House, with a conservative lead, you almost feel like that maybe they can get something done. Because remember who was leading the charge of NIL? Ted Cruz out of Texas. Well, he won his seat against Allred to go back for 6 more years. there's some talk that maybe they can get, maybe there's some bipartisan to come together, but they don't need bipartisan. You got the power. So now it's time to implement this. The world of college football is very valuable, and we'll see if they put some regulations on this. They're probably trying to deregulate a lot of other stuff, but we'll see. We'll see. All right, talk to me. Give me 3 picks, Dale.
Give me Bama.
Bama.
Give me Texas A&M.
Okay.
In Ohio State, they're going to blow Indiana out of the water, I believe. But I do like that coach. He coached under Saban, right?
He did.
Yeah.
He did. Yep. All right, let's go Bama passing yards. Where do you want to go?
195.
I got you, man. Thank you, Dale. Hope you have a great rest of your day.
You too. Have a great weekend, Ryan.
You do as well. 205-342-9904. 205-342-9904. Med Center Urgent Care Family Medicine. No appointment necessary. The super doctors who live and work in our community. MedCenterUrgentCare.com. Karen, get ready. We're coming to you. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we're doing our SEC Parlay Pick Contest presented by Brian Harden Construction on Tide 100.9. Parlay Pick Contest presented by Brian Harden Construction. We are always powered by Tuscaloosa Toyota, TuscaloosaToyota.com. We are hiring sales pros and service advisors. Very competitive play plan. 401k with match, Blue Cross Blue Shield, paid vacation, paid training. Tuscaloosa Toyota, TuscaloosaToyota.com. Let's go through the credentials of the University of Alabama. It's 18 national titles, 147 first-team All-American, 77 postseason games, 45 postseason victories, 30 SEC titles, the NCAA all-time scoring leader, 4 Heisman winners, and the greatest football coaches to ever walk the sidelines. We are talking a little Alabama Crimson Tide football. I think we should take a little bit of respect and we'll pay it to Oklahoma. Let's run through their credentials for just a couple of minutes. I think it's kind of fun to reflect. I mean, we call them a blue blood. They have 7 national titles, and we call them a blue blood, and they certainly are blue blood. 31 bowl championships. We have 45, just kind of, in comparison. They have 50 conference titles. That's a big number. I like how they dropped their conference affiliation trying to claim it. But listen, we got 30 SEC titles. You're in our neighborhood. 42 10-win seasons. I believe we have more than that. I need to go look that up. 7 Heisman winners. They certainly have the advantage there. They have 167 first-team All-Americans, 513 first-team All-Conference honorees. I have absolutely no clue how many we have. 92 national awards. I have no clue how many they have, or how many we have. And they have 30 college football Hall of Famers. They have more than we have. So I think we have 21, 22. Antonio Langham will go in December the 10th out at the National Football Foundation. Let's go through these parlay picks, and we'll try to do it as quick as we possibly can. Ole Miss travels to Florida. Ole Miss minus the 12.5. 55.5 is the total. UMass going to Georgia. Georgia minus the 42. 55.5 is the game total. UTEP traveling to Knoxville, Tennessee. Tennessee minus 40.5. 52.5 is the game total. Kentucky at Texas. Texas minus the 20. 46.5 is the game total. La Tech, Louisiana Tech, 4-6. Arkansas 5-5. Arkansas minus the 23.5. 48.5 is the game total. The Missouri Tigers traveling possibly through our town. It's Mizzou minus the 9. Mizzou minus the 9. That's one that we're kind of keeping an eye on. When you look back at the Missouri Tigers minus the 9 at Mississippi State, 57.5. We need Mizzou to either beat Mississippi State or Arkansas, and then we need to win out. We would be in Atlanta playing for an SEC title. Texas A&M, the Auburn Tigers. Texas A&M travels there as a favorite, minus the 2.5. Minus the 2.5. 46.5 is the game total. The University of Alabama. Bama minus 13.5. 46.5 is the game total. Vanderbilt at LSU. LSU minus the 7.5, 53.5. And then we've got IU at Ohio State. Ohio State minus the 11. Ohio State minus the 11. You pick 3 teams, and you give us the tiebreaker, which is very simple. Very simple. Bama passing yards, against a defense that's had 2 weeks to prepare for the University of Alabama. You can calculate that in. We're still waiting to award our winner. We think we know who it is. Well, we know who we know that we know who it is, right? We're waiting on that person to call, and we can identify him. If not, we'll have to do it at 6 o'clock. Also, I want to take a couple of minutes here, a couple seconds. Tuscaloosa Academy is hosting Pisgah. Pisgah's from North Alabama, and this is 2A football. Tuscaloosa Academy advanced to another round of high school playoffs. They beat Susan Moore last week. That's my alma mater, high school. And when you look at Pisgah coming down from north, it's North Sand Mountain. It's up on the mountain there. And I think you'll know the last name of the guy that's coaching Pisgah. His name is Luke Pruitt. You know who Luke Pruitt is? That is Jeremy Pruitt's brother. And spoke with Jeremy this morning via text message. He's coming down to support his brother and a big playoff round at Tuscaloosa Academy. So Jeremy Pruitt will always be not just a member of the University of Alabama as a player, but as assistant coach. Did some great things I'll never forget. And I got in trouble over in the state of Georgia for saying this a few months ago. I thought he was a better defensive coordinator than Kirby Smart. I did. You got to go back to what we called it. We called it third and Kirby. When he came here in 2016, we had one of the greatest defenses that we've had. It was a historic defense, but he really fixed the back end, that third level of our defense. We used to call it first and second down. We'd stop him, and it would call third and Kirby because he'd always pick up first down on third down. We were solid during a lot of those years, but Jeremy Pruitt, when he departed and went to Florida State, our secondary kind of traveled down a little bit. When he came back, kind of reestablished that. So would love to see him back in coaching. He's coaching high school football up with his dad, but I'd love to see him back in the college sidelines. I think that when I look at the NCAA and I think about how dirty and low down they are, I think about what they did to him and where we're seeing it today, where we're covering a young man who decommitted from LSU and is going to Michigan, and he's going to get $12.5 million. And, you know, even if the allegations are true or false, a couple of dollars and some Chick-fil-A coupons up in Knoxville, Tennessee. But Philip Fulmer, one day you'll meet your maker. You'll meet your maker. And, you know, the NCAA and Greg Sankey and Mike Slive and all these, Roy Kramer, all these commissioners in the SEC, they won't be able to protect you because you're going to have to look at your maker and you're going to have to say, how did you live your life? And he's asking a question he already knows the answer to, and I think we all know the answer to, too. So, Philip Fulmer, one day your day's coming. Your day's coming. We're counting down those, and he's lived a miserable, miserable, miserable life with very little integrity. Did I just really go personal? I'm sorry. That's what I feel about Philip Fulmer, and I'm sure many of you probably share my same sentiment. Let's go to Karen in Tuscaloosa. Karen, please save my day for saying something I don't need to say.
You say, I agree 100% with everything you said about Philip Fulmer.
Yeah. So, and if you don't believe me, we could go back and replay some tapes with Johnny Majors. He felt the same way.
Yeah. And I have felt all along the reason that he hired Jeremy Pruitt, because I think he took advantage of him and thought he would get back at Alabama by hiring him.
100%.
And I think Jeremy Pruitt is a nice person. I think he got basically railroaded, and Philip Fulmer railroaded him and then fired him, blamed it on him, and then stepped down. So if you didn't think you did anything wrong and it was really really Jeremy Pruitt, why did you step down? You know, why did you leave right after that? So,
well, I mean, Philip Fulmer was dirty before anybody ever arrived in Knoxville. I mean, that's just who.
I know.
That's who he lives his life, or how he lives his life. I don't have anything for him. When I think about Philip Fulmer, I think about some of the things he did at the University of Alabama. But I do think it was probably a revenge hire. He thought
it was.
Hiring Jeremy Pruitt, he could hurt the University of Alabama, and it did.
Mm-hmm.
It did. I mean, because if Jeremy would have stayed here, we might have won 2 or 3 more national titles.
Right. I agree.
But I mean, Tennessee's a good job. It's a good job.
So I don't know, but that's another day. And
another day. It's
not our. It's not our. vengeance is not ours, So we have to.
I'd love for it to be. I'd love for it to be.
But I've lived my life by that, and I have never been let down.
Well,
It's like you can't be bitter.
Wouldn't it be nice though if Tennessee's sitting there and they beat Alabama and Alabama leapfrogs them and goes to the playoff, and Tennessee's sitting at home? How would you like that, Karen?
That would be sweet. I would love it. I mean, I told you so. So, anyway.
You bow to the king, Tennessee. You bow to the king.
And even just like with Georgia, they thought when Nick Saban left, oh my gosh, it was it, and we beat them, and it's like we're ahead of them in the playoffs, and I don't know. I just they love to hate. They love to hate. So we just need to take care of ourselves and not worry about anybody else.
You're right. You got three. You got three. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I do, and I just want to know. So is Tony otherwise busy? How did I get his spot? He always, starts off the 5 o'clock hour.
Well, Tony's been a slacker here lately.
He has. Okay.
He's been calling off, or the people in North, down in the South, we call it calling in. Up in North, they call it calling off. Calling off sick.
Okay.
Tony's been, we're gonna have to see if he's got a doctor's excuse. He's missed so many days. We're gonna see if he's got a doctor's excuse. But,
well, I just wondered. I mean, it's like I got his spot. So I'll take it.
I just take them in the order they receive.
I know. But anyway, yes, my 3 picks.
All right, here we go.
I'm going to take Vandy.
Got it.
Texas A&M.
Okay.
Indiana.
Okay.
And I'm going to say 187, Bama passing.
Vandy, Texas A&M, IU, 187. Karen, thank you so much.
Thank you, Ryan, and roll tide. We'll talk to you next week.
Roll tide. Thank you so much.
Okay.
And by the way, we will be here all of next week except Thursday, and we're going to have a lot of fun. I do remind you, DanielMooreArt.com is a great discount. That code word this week that we're offering a 20% discount. If you're thinking about Christmas items or ideas, go to DanielMooreArt.com. The code word this week is Fowler, Fowler, 20% off all the products. Fowler, Fowler. You got to put that in for that 20% off discount. We asked that you would tell them about it, that you heard it right here on the game. Listening to us up in Canada, not Blueberry Steve, but Bama Rush says Ryan Fowler bringing the absolute heat on Fat Phil in the game in Tuscaloosa. Yeah, appreciate you, man. Thank you. I don't know. I mean, I was thinking about, Luke Pruitt coaching Pisgah and coming to Tuscaloosa Academy, and I guess it just kind of brought up the Pruitt name. So I got to thinking about Tennessee. I hate that bunch, man. About as much as I do Auburn. Tommy Romulus. Tommy, good afternoon. You're in the game.
How are you, Ron Fowler?
I'm good. I just got a little fired up in the 5 o'clock
Well,
hour.
I'm going to help you out, since I'm a good fellow most of the time. Phil Fulmer came from the school of Doug Dickey. And let me just put it point blank. People like to use the old term, 2 peas in the pod. They are 2 turds in the toilet, and you can't polish a turd. So that's all I'm going to say about them 2. Okay, where you want to go now?
We can go anywhere you want to go. We can go anywhere you want to go.
I'm so sorry to bring that up, but you brought Phil Fulmer. He's trying, and Johnny Major wife. Man, you thought she casted out demon when somebody say his name around her. That woman hates his living guts. If she's still alive, I don't know. But no, his wife. Oh Lord, I heard her one day. She ran around, and Majors was, how am I going to put it, was like the #1 football family at the University of Tennessee. All his brothers played for Tennessee. He played for Tennessee. He was a runner-up for the Heisman Trophy. And Johnny Major was. Tennessee, I think, had 4 runners-up, but never had a Heisman Trophy winner. And Major was one of them. All right. And his father father was a long-time coach in Tennessee high school football, a legend. But Phil Fulmer destroyed all that. The Major family has a bad taste towards the university.
Yeah, first time I ever interviewed Johnny Majors, he took us down that rabbit hole of talking about Philip Fulmer, and
you got to be a low snake.
Well, how many times do you ever hear a coach talking about a player like that? I mean, that Philip Fulmer was his player.
Well, Philip Fulmer played for Doug Dickey and Bill Battle. And, like, I'm going to sit there and say I'm getting ready to sneeze.
I thought Philip Fulmer played for Johnny Majors.
He played for Bill Battle and Doug Dickey. That way him and Doug Dickey had that close tie. He graduated in 72, 73. Major didn't come in to 76 or 77 football season. Because Pittsburgh won the national championship in 77. No, 76. He won the national championship at Pittsburgh with Matt Cavanaugh and Tony Dorsett.
Okay.
You look it up and see if I'm wrong. I might be wrong. I mean, but I thought it was before because he made a comment in 68. It was between Alabama and Tennessee, and I'm like, pal, you would never come to Alabama.
Okay.
Phil Fulmer said that.
Winchester, Tennessee. Philip Fulmer arrived in 1968, 1971. He played. Johnny Majors got there and when? What year would you say?
77.
Okay.
Phil Fulmer played for Doug Dickey
and Bill Battle. Okay.
And Bill Battle. So Doug Dickey left Tennessee in 69.
I stand corrected. So, so I guess he worked from him from 80 to.
He was assistant coach. Yes, for him. Because the comment was made by his wife.
Yeah.
Johnny Major was in the hospital, had a heart attack or had open heart surgery thing, and Phil Fulmer stabbed him in his back.
Right.
I mean,
yeah.
And yeah.
Well, his famous line was, "They were working on my front, he was working on my back."
Yeah, exactly.
All right, here we go, Tommy.
All right.
Let's go 3 picks.
Texas, Ohio State.
Texas, Ohio State.
I'm going to go with A&M. And passing yard 248.
Texas, Ohio State, Texas A&M 248. Tommy, I appreciate you, man, and roll tide to you. You didn't go Alabama. You nervous?
No, they do bad when I pick them. But I'm going on the street. I have a rule. I've told you 100 times. I don't pick my favorite team. I'm going against Auburn because I hate them so bad. But I just can't believe Texas A&M is only a 2.5-point favorite.
That's strange. But
that is, to me, is a giving game if I was betting money. To me, it is. I don't know about Auburn defense good, but their offense not that great. I think Texas A&M defense is a lot better than Auburn defense, and their offense is better than Auburn offense. I know it's voodoo heaven down there, but I just think A&M. One thing that can prove me wrong is Auburn beat the dog out, and then we all know that they're looking towards Texas next week. So that's the only thing
All right, here we go.
All right, let me.
Thanks, Tommy. Thank you, man.
All right, man.
Right, back to you. Tommy and Romulus. Let's go to Bama Kathy. Bama Kathy, good afternoon. You're in the game.
Oh, yes. I'm going to give you my pick. Right?
Yes, I'm here, Bama Kathy.
All right.
How are you doing? You having a good day?
Fair. It's too cold for me.
It's too cold for us, too. A little chilly here in West Alabama.
A little chilly. Yes. Let me give you my picks, okay?
All right.
The first one is Texas A&M, Alabama,
okay,
Kentucky.
And Kentucky. Texas A&M, Bama, and Kentucky. We're going passing yards for the University of Alabama.
232.
232. That's a very important number at the University of Alabama. Coach Bryant ended with 232 wins. Thank you, Bama Kathy.
Thank you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. We're into the 5 o'clock hour. Hey, we're still reading those apps. We appreciate you guys. Let's continue to take those. Tell us where you're listening to us from. Go to the app, Tide 109. And by the way, we're going to have game day all day starting tomorrow, 1:30, right into the CTSN network live in Norman, Oklahoma. CTSN network. We're talking Alabama Crimson Tide football. We're taking your phone calls, 205-342-9904. Let's go to Mary. Mary, good afternoon. You're in the game.
Hey, Ryan. How you doing?
Good, good. 3 ladies in the 5 o'clock hour. How about that?
We love getting in last minute.
Well, there we go.
Yep. Had a good day so far?
Oh, had a great day. Super. Yeah, good day.
Yeah, that's good. Same here. Yesterday, I was going to try to get in, but I had a bit of a interesting day. I had to work at 5 a.m. yesterday, and I got off at 2, but I was just so tuckered out and just wore out that I took a nap. So I slept through about half of the show, but I did hear my favorite bits of it. So
I got you. I got you. What do you do? What do you do?
I work out mostly in the back room. Just, working through that holiday rush. It's interesting.
In what area?
I work in the back room. Just mainly being sure that freight can go out and, going through the bins and overstock ready. So if anything needs to go out on the sales floor, it could be stacked on a pallet and ready to go.
Okay. Super cool. Super cool. All right.
Yeah. Yep. I've been there about 6 years now.
And what's the name of the work though? What'd you say? The static. You don't have to say it on the air.
No, it's okay. I'm on the first shift stocking team.
Okay. Cool.
Just mainly stocking freight and stuff. Yeah.
Okay. Well, super cool. Super cool. All right.
Yeah.
Well, sounds like that's a hard physical job. I mean, it can be, I'm sure, very demanding.
It can be. I did overnight the first 5 years. Working night shift, and I did the same thing. I would unload trucks. I would stack pallets to make pallet trucks. I did a little bit of everything.
I got you. All right. Well, super cool.
Yeah.
Super cool. I was
very cool.
I stocked a few groceries throughout my life, so I know a little bit more about that. And so,
yeah.
All right. Let's go 3 picks. What are you thinking?
Go with the Tide, Alabama.
Bama. Somebody believing in the Tide. That's a good thing. Pick number 2.
Go Florida.
Ooh, nobody's taking the Florida Gators. All right. Plus the 12.5. Pick number 3.
Missouri.
Mizzou. Okay. We need that. Bama passing yards. Where do you want to go?
240.
240. I've got it, Mary. Thank you so much.
Appreciate it. Have a good one. Roll Tide.
Hey, Roll Tide. Thank you. It is the pharmacy at Midtown, T.J. Thomas, the pharmacy at Midtown, the only sterile compounding facility here in Tuscaloosa, the pharmacy at Midtown with T.J. Thomas. Let's break here. We'll come back. Greg, get ready. We're coming to you. Coming up next, T-Town Tide at 100.9, 1230 WTBC. You're home here in Tuscaloosa. Tide at 100.9, 1230 WTBC. Let's go to Greg. Greg, good afternoon. You're in the game. I hope all is well.
All is well, Ryan. How are you on this fine, chilly day?
It's good. It's good. Having a good day. A little cold, a little chilly out there, but nothing a heater won't be able to fix.
That's right. So go back to your conversation a few minutes ago, about, the great puke orange. Don't you find it ironic that if Alabama wants to hire a coach, like a Jeremy Pruitt, a Bo Davis, we're told no, but other places can't. Don't you find there's a little irony in that?
I think so. I think when you look at the NCAA, they're still trying to show that they have teeth. That's the only way they can do is try to scare these coaches. But it's that's all they have, right? I mean, they don't really have any power. I just want to be there. If I have to drive all the way to Indy, I want to be there when they put the for sale sign on that building.
Yeah, because it's fixing to implode, talking about this is not pay for play, but we're paying $10, $11, $12 million, whatever it is, for quote number one quarterback in America. Come on.
Yeah. I mean but that's where we're at. They have no way to regulate anything.
No, I mean because think about it. 5 years ago when we started talking about all this, they were like, "Well, it's just not fair. If we just throw this little bone up, it'll solve the problem." How fast did that escalate? Because remember, Bryce Young wins the Heisman. He gets $1 million, and everybody freaks out over $1 million.
But think about the market, though. If this market is truly being reset here.
Yeah, we're paying basically NFL money for quarterbacks coming out in the draft, and there's no guarantee with those either. I mean, just think about that. I mean, that's essentially where we're at. That's just it's mind blowing to me. This cannot keep up. This is an unsustainable model.
Well, the senator,
the NCAA will explode.
The senator I was talking about earlier this week is when you look at, he called it donor fatigue, and he pretty much painted it like, Greg, let's say that you're a millionaire. And I go to Greg, or let's just say that you're be a billionaire, because there's a few billionaires out there in the world of college football. And I say, Greg, I'm going to deliver you a national title for a program that you've never had to see your team hoist up a trophy. Hoist that trophy up. You hoist that trophy up, and you give me $3 or $4 million. I'm going to go build me a roster. Well, then I go 5-5, or I go, well, you can't go 5-5. It's 10 games, but let's say you go 6-6. And then all of a sudden, I go back to you and I say, well, you know what? I need double that. Well, and Greg says, I'm going to do it one more time. Well, then I go 7-5. And that's what he was trying to explain is how long will it be before the donors say, nah, I can't do this. Can't do this. But, you got some people that got more money than they do sense, but.
Yeah, and just to kind of draw a parallel, and I mean, because I know that's part of what's going on, but you go back years and years ago when UAB was trying to get their football program up and running. There was a donor that somebody came to him and basically said, if you'll give us $1 million, it'll help us get our foot going and get started. And multiple people told him that would be just $1 million blown out, blown. That there's, you wouldn't get any, dividend from it at all. The guy was like, well, I believe in my program. I believe in giving the money. Gave them $1 million to help, build some facilities, help give them some of the things they needed. It bumped them up for a year, and then after that, because basically the nuclear arms race of facilities was taken off, and what they had thought that was top notch was basically back to bottom tier. That's where you're always going to be. It's almost a government style funding is what they're trying to do. It's not sustainable.
Yeah. Hey, Greg, give me 3 picks, man. I'm just about out of time right here at the end of the show.
Yep. All right. So give me Missouri.
Mizzou. We need that help. All right. Pick number 2.
Yes, we do. And the only reason why I'm going this way is because so many people have picked Texas A&M. I'm going with the Bugs.
Okay.
And that just
flipping the
makes my skin crawl.
All right. Pick number 3.
And of course, I'm going with Alabama because I believe we will win fairly easily. And my passing yards, 243.
Okay, I got it. 243. Got it, Greg. Appreciate you, man.
Roll time, my brother.
That's Greg and Alabaster. Let's go to Quick Dave. Quick Dave, good afternoon. You're in the game.
Hey, Ryan. How's everything going, my friend?
Oh, it's good. Good.
I'm going to pick Texas A&M, Ole Miss, and I'm going with Ohio State, and I'm going with 270 passing yards.
Got it. Quick Dave. Appreciate you, man.
All right, roll Tide.
Roll Tide. Let's go to Blueberry Steve in Montreal, Canada. Blueberry Steve, good afternoon. You're in the game.
Hi, I'll make it real quick.
All right.
I'll go with Ohio State Buckeyes. Can you just tell me how much? What's the spread on that? I'm taking them anyways, just for my knowledge.
It's Ohio State minus the 11.
Okay. I'm going with Bama. What's the spread on that?
Bama's minus 13.5.
Okay. And I'm going with A&M.
And Texas A&M is minus the 2.5 against those. Who are they playing against, Blueberry Steve?
They're playing the Bugs.
I just like when you say that. All right. I got it. All right.
Okay, my friend. Passing yards. Bama passing yards 216. Roll Managa. That's make North America great again. And roll Tide.
Thank you, Blueberry Steve. We appreciate that. 205-342-9904. Blueberry Steve, Montreal, Canada. From Blueberry Steve to Montreal, Canada to J-Rob in Montgomery. J-Rob, good afternoon. You're in the game.
Happy Football Friday. Ryan Fowler, how are you?
Happy Football Friday. It's a good day to be alive. Good day to be alive.
It sure is. I'm going to make this quick, but I do want to make one comment. It's very ironic that there's a pastor that sent an app in today, and he lives in Hooker, Pennsylvania. Maybe they need him there. Or maybe, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it's the other way around. I don't know, but it's ironic. So, here we go. Texas.
All right.
Missouri.
All right, hold on. I'm sorry. I'm reading some of these app messages for Hooker. I got you.
Hooker, Pennsylvania.
All
It's
right.
one of the earlier ones. All right. You got Missouri?
Okay. Yeah, I do.
What is the over in the Indiana-Ohio State game?
No, we didn't play that. Yeah, we didn't play that. We just did non-conference.
What's the line, man? What's the line in?
11.
I take Ohio State.
Texas A&M, Ohio State.
11.
You know, they always say that, a bookie, I need this or I need this.
Yeah.
I'm going to need Auburn to cover this one.
Well, I can't say. I can't go that way. Can't go that far. But
Because
anyhow,
everybody's taking Texas A&M except one.
well, I just can't go that way. It's just not good. It's not in me. It's like I can't vote for the orange guys from Knoxville. All right, my passing yard is 280.
Okay, I got it. All right.
All right, Ryan. Everybody have a great weekend, and you are the best. You take care, and roll Tide.
Thank you. Mark Smart down. Roll Tide. I think I cut him off just a little bit too short there. Mark Smart, 1978, Selma, Alabama. If you're thinking about dominating the grill this weekend or any weekend, you'll find it at Mark's Mark in downtown Northport under that Roll Tide Bridge. Since 1978 in Selma, Alabama, and over 5 years in downtown Northport. If you're looking for chicken, you're looking for seafood. If you're looking for some of those casseroles, dips, appetizers, think about Thanksgiving. All right, it's Southern Ale House, 1530 McFarland Boulevard, also 1512 Marina Drive in Northport, Alabama. You can plug that in. A unique twist on a Southern cuisine. Eat Southern, be Southern. Eat Southern, be Southern. Also, let me also invite you when you look at holiday, Thanksgiving, Christmas, catering. They've got some great options. Now, coming up, they will have a deadline, and that is Monday at noon. So the next time you and I talk, you'll not be able to place the catering order. Ordering deadline is Monday at noon. You can pick up on Wednesday from 10 until 5. Christmas orders a little bit later. We'll discuss that, but got some great family dishes. I tried the turkey today. The turkey breast was simply amazing. Wow. The cranberry chutney is simply awesome. But if you're looking for the great specials, it is Southern Ale House. Blackened mahi. That's an option this weekend at Dockside. If you're looking for great fried shrimp, they've got that. Great bread pudding. I believe it was called the Tacky Toffee bread pudding. That is an option. I haven't tried that this week, but you can see our good friends at Southern Ale House, 1530 McFarland Boulevard, and also Dockside. If you're thinking about dinner this weekend, you've got dinner options for Friday night, lunch and dinner tomorrow, and then coming up on Sunday, both locations is serving dinner and lunch tomorrow. But then on Sunday, The original location is closed, and then you'll have the Marina Drive they serve brunch until 4 o'clock. So go over and see Brett Garner, Justin, and those amazing staff at Southern Ale House. Let's continue, and we'll take our final few calls. I was just checking on the route just a couple of minutes ago. Alabama's about 15 minutes away, actually about 6 minutes away from landing. That was just a couple of minutes ago. Let's go as quick as we possibly can, and we'll go to Cowboy. Cowboy, you're in the game. I hope all is well.
All right, Ron. How are you, sir?
And I'm having a good day.
So you're tracking that big Delta bird flying into Oklahoma City?
I am. I was tracking it just a minute ago. Just needed something to do.
I guess they didn't go out there and do a little walkthrough this afternoon for the.
No, they generally don't do that. They do a lot of their stuff here. And
Nick Saban was the same way. I think he didn't.
You know what? I'm wrong. I'm wrong. They arrived about 7 minutes early, so they're actually already on the ground.
Boots on the ground.
Boots on the ground. Let's go get them.
Ryan, what's the weather for tomorrow night? Because I'm leaving here in Dallas tomorrow,
warm,
about 9:30 going that way.
Yes, warm. Going to be in the 60s at kickoff.
Oh, really? I like that.
And the wind's going to be blowing, so you might want to do a little windbreaker. But, really? Cowboy, I'm pretty much out of time right here at the end, man. I'm trying to squeeze in. I got 6 callers on
maybe
hold.
I'll see you out there. You don't come?
Well, I've been working on my airplane all morning.
Oh, really?
And I got it.
They got them for rent. Just sign up. You got the money.
All right, Cowboy, you gonna give me 3 picks?
3 picks. I got Texas over Kentucky.
Got it. Okay. All right.
I'm going with Lane Kiffin over those Billy Napier fighting Gators.
Okay. Got it.
And I'm going with LSU over those Vanderbilt Commodores.
All right. I got you. All right, Cowboy. Roll Tide, I'm sorry I'm pushed for time. I wish we could have our time to stretch our legs a little bit, but I hope you have a good day.
LSU needs to win, and they won't even have a recruit. They're losing them right and left.
Yeah, we're fixing to take one of them. Did I say that? Give me the passing yards for Alabama. 695. Thank you. I've got it. Okay. All right.
211. 211. Mill Road opens that up a little bit. He won't be total single wing tomorrow night.
All right. Roll Tide, Cowboy. Thank you, man.
Yeah, be good, bud.
Right back to you. We'll try to squeeze in as many calls as we possibly can. We've waited till the last minute. Ellis, let's go. No, actually, Josh and George is right in front of Ellis. Then we'll take Ellis. Josh, good afternoon. You're in the game. I hope all is well.
Good afternoon. Everything's good, Ryan.
This is our winner from last week. This is our parlay winner from last week. He had 192 and they had 292. Or 190 and they had 202. Whatever it was.
I had 190 and they had 202 total offensive yards against the Alabama defense. I had a gut feeling I had it. So that's 2 balls in the bucket for the grand prize now. And I want to, real quick, for Barner Nick and for Barner Nick only, $60 a month. Josh's Jam Up picks for score prediction and parlay picks. So.
You and Bama Nick on the same page. How about that?
Yeah, but he can subscribe to Josh's Jam Up picks for all picks and score predictions from now on.
All right, Josh. A month. I wish you could take your victory lap. Give me 3 picks. Let's go.
Nope. Give me Alabama. Give me Vanderbilt, and give me Ole Miss.
Okay, Bama passing yards.
Let's go 235.
235. I got it, Josh. Appreciate you, man.
All right, roll Tide.
Right back to you. We have one line available at 205-342-9904. 205-342-9904. Let's go to Marty in Arkansas. Marty, good afternoon. You're in the game.
Good afternoon, Ryan. I'm just pulling out of Fort Smith and now getting over to Oklahoma City for the game tomorrow.
Oh, you are going. You are going.
Yeah, I've met a guy Ryan, I'll tell you that how I got there Monday. I'm going to get my picks so other people get in. I'm going to go Alabama, Vandy, and whoever playing Mississippi State.
Mizzou minus the 7.5. Is that what you want?
All right, I'll take Mizzou. I'll take Mizzou, and I'll take 255. I'm going with the Oklahoma fan. He had an extra ticket.
Okay.
That's all right. That's all right. I tell him we're better than they are, and he keeps on talking. I told him they haven't got no one back since since the coach way back, and I know who it is. We'll talk about that Monday, Ryan. Have a good weekend.
Safe trip over there, man. Thank you so much. 205-342-9904. We're going to close out here in just a couple of seconds. What have I got? 3 minutes? All right, I'm going to go to Mitchell. Mitchell, let it rip. Go.
Let's go Bama. Let's go Texas. Let's go over Ole Miss, 56.5.
Hold on. Whoa. I can't write that fast. You can't be that quick. What is this? Quick Dave number 2?
Bama.
Texas
over 56.5 in the Ole Miss Florida game.
Okay. All right. Got it.
And then Milrose passing yards. Let's go 234.
234. I got it, man.
Get them, Ellis.
Get them. Thank you, Mitchell.
Roll Tide.
Roll Tide. Let's go to Ellis, Manchester, Tennessee. Ellis, good afternoon. You're in the game.
188 for the yardage.
What was it? 188? Okay, 188.
Yeah, 188. Okay. I'm going with Alabama.
All right.
I'm going with Texas A&M.
Okay.
And I'm going with Mizzou.
Okay. Bama, Texas A&M, Mizzou in 188. The last duck through the hole, which is not going to be the last duck through the hole.
Oh, I'm not.
No. I can put you back. I'll tell you what. Let me put you back on hold, Ellis, and I'll come back to you. Okay? Don't leave. Don't leave. Just stay right here. Okay? All right.
All right.
Let me go to Rocket Man. Rocket Man, give me 3 picks.
Ole Miss.
Ole Miss. Bama.
Oh my gosh. A&M.
Texas A&M. And we're going Bama passing yards. Where do you want to go?
310.
310. All right.
All
right, Rocket Man. Thank you. I think you may be our final there. What have I got, Jackson? About 10 seconds? 50. I like Alabama to win. I like Alabama to win big. I do like this Alabama football team. What do you like, Jackson?
I like Alabama. I don't know. Oklahoma's defense is pretty good, but
they've had 2 weeks to prepare. That's the only part that kind of strikes a little fear in me.
I agree.
I will tell you that North River Timber Company, call Courtney Watt and his team of over 20 years experience in West Alabama and East Mississippi, offer timber harvesting, timber appraisals, comprehensive management plans. As a registered forester in Alabama, Courtney and his team help you decide how to maximize your highest potential for your land. Courtney says timber is like money in the bank. See what your investment can do for you. Call Courtney Watt at 205-242-5127, 205-242-5127. Ellis, I'm just going to ask you very simply, do you believe in this Alabama football team?
I believe that, brother!
Do you really believe in this believe in this Alabama football team?
I believe that, brother!
Roll Tide, Ellis!
Roll Tide!
That'll end 20 hours a week. Go over and support Tuscaloosa Academy and Pisgah. Go over and support the Knights. Hey, I remind you that we call this program The Game. The only way that you can win the big game, the game of life, is to walk daily with our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Good night, T-Town. Talk.
Thank you for listening to The Game.